to make maps.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right. Okay, so I do know about black women or black people in general doing like different cornrow designs be so they can get out of slavery. But what does that have to do with her putting that on her head?
I mean, it's nothing. It really has nothing to do with her putting it in her head because it's her natural hair. But yeah, I just simply don't care.
Right, but I don't understand why
I don't
other
care what other women do to their hair, but you clearly do as
yeah,
a man.
but you just said you thought it was wrong for them to put those hairstyles in.
I mean, yeah, I really don't have a problem with her, having cornrows in her head. I'm just saying braids are a cultural thing to Black women.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because do you know what Dutch braids look like?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dutch braids come not from our people, but we still wear them, right?
I mean, I guess.
Right. So I think it's racism. That's all it is. They just don't like when Becky's do it, but we can do everything else from everybody else's culture.
I mean, you could say so.
Right. Okay. And how do you feel about all right, now she's gone. Bro, let me see. Let me get somebody else up here. Every time they come up here, they get defeated every single time because they have no logic.
Hello.
What's your hello?
Hello.
Yeah. What is your standpoint?
My standpoint is what really are we talking about here? Because I'm not seeing where you're going with the alleged racism. I'm not seeing the point.
Well, it's racism because you guys bully Becky's for putting in a hairstyle. Like, why do you guys do that?
Okay, first of all, you're putting me in a box, so let me step out of that. Ooh.
Well, I'm
And
saying
then first of all,
like
what do you mean by like what race are you? I'll ask that. What race are you?
I'm black.
Oh, okay, you're black. You're black. Okay, great. So the problem may be with where are our concerns? We probably need to reevaluate our concerns. I think we're worrying about the wrong things. We're talking about hair and how wigs. So basically, a wig is an accessory. We can just consider that an accessory. Some people see it as an extension of their real hair. Some people see it as their real hair, right? It's all a general illusion. But if your point is to say it's unhealthy, then I think we need to dig deeper, farther past hair, and really the just general things of life. Even the foods that people typically consume. I'm gonna ask you: Are you anyone who indulges in like hot Cheetos or your snacks, Takis, things of that nature?
No, I don't. I
Oh,
don't. I see where it's going, but
you're vegan.
wigs, wigs. So wigs and weaves. No, I'm not vegan. Wigs and weaves are a detriment to them today. Like it's actually getting really bad. It's like a pandemic. The thing about wigs and weaves is number one, they cause a lot of different things in the black woman's body, like fibroids can cause cancer. It's linked. You can do your studies, or you can do your research. It also it's based in an insecurity. That's why they put in the wigs and the weaves.
Okay. All right. I see your point, but also, I mean, it's what people consume as well. So we have to dig deeper. This is really just a surface thing. You can take that off, but what you put in your body can stay a little bit longer than maybe wearing a wig.
No,
Do you
but
see?
okay. Just because one thing is worse than the other doesn't mean that one thing is still not bad. We're talking about the hair here. I'm not trying to deflect onto food. So they put on the wigs and the weaves because they're insecure. There's no need for a black woman to put on wigs and weaves today. Not one reason.
Okay. Okay, so you're digging more so into like the emotional aspect of it other than necessarily the health part. I don't think that's necessarily insecurity. It definitely can be an insecurity, but like I said, for some people it's just an expression. It's just a way they want to express themselves or add a little flair to their look.
Nothing outside of you can express who you are.
Okay, well maybe they want to create a character.
And but why do you want to be a character? What about being yourself, the person you were born to be?
I mean, yeah, that's I guess the quote unquote right way, but there's different people who are going to express themselves different ways or they want to do something outside of the box. And that's really what it is.
I mean, it's not outside of the box though, because every other black woman is doing that today. It would be one thing if all black women were wearing their natural hair, and then there's like a couple black women who want to wear like wigs and stuff like that because they want to be different. But they're not being different. They're being just like all the other black women. So I'm trying to see like why do they do it today? It doesn't make any sense. If you love your natural hair, why do you have to put on somebody else's hair, especially from a whole nother race?
Yeah. So I would say from what I hear mostly around these times is people are doing this because it has a more seamless, flawless, clean, quote unquote look. And it's more accepted. Obviously not to you, but yeah. I mean, do you know how many women get judged for their natural hair or get shunned away from certain situations about their natural hair? About the kinky, the coily, the curly, the it's not tame enough. Have you asked anyone that question before?
Yeah, I have, and I know all about that. But do
Mhm.
you know who's the main one who teases black women about their hair?
One moment, one moment. To this comment, King Huey, did I just say straight hair looks more clean? Some people actually have that perception and have said that. So that's nothing I just made up or think. It's something that has been said. So, um, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do you know who's the predominant people who shame black women for their hair?
Yes, I'm aware.
Who is that?
The people in the picture with the braids.
That's incorrect. The
It
main
is?
That's very incorrect. The main person or the main group of people that shame black women for their natural hair is other black women. That's why you guys are insecure most times because your mothers, your friends, people around you call you nappy headed and things like that. So, but then we just automatically blame Becky's when they had nothing to do with your insecurity. It was actually people right around you.
Okay.
She left. She left. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, y'all can't contend. Like, I be spitting facts and y'all get mad and leave. And she got to fix her smoke detector too.
Hello?
What is? I can hear you.
Hey, I just want to let you know I'm getting my hair done tomorrow.
And why are you letting me know that?
Yeah, I'm getting straight wig. I'm getting a wig, a lace front.
Why?
Just to let you know.
Why?
I just like it, I'm just gonna wear it. I like it.
Why don't you just wear your natural hair out?
My natural hair, I had cut it. I shave it all out.
That means you have to put a wig on?
Yeah, I shave my head and I shave my bottom area as well.
So rock it bald then.
Nah,
Why not?
let me get that wig on your head.
But why can't you rock it like Lupita? Like short.
Who?
Lupita, the girl from Us.
Nah, I'm better than her.
How are you better than her?
Trust me, I am. Trust me.
Trust me, you're not because she's a famous actor and she has.
I'm a famous
millions of
actor
dollars.
too. I was on Disney Channel. What you mean?
What Disney Channel show were you on?
Hey, Jesse, I was Sky Jackson.
No, you were not. You don't even sound like Scott Jackson.
Lance Thunder, I can't even be on here. I'm 16, so you can kick me out.
you can just leave.
Yeah.
No way. That's crazy, bro. What is your
Yo,
stand?
hmm? I like your Velcro beard. Your
Is that
beard looks like a Velcro.
that's what you came to say?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, shave it off, man.
All right, bro. It's like I don't know if you guys think these insults are gonna hurt me or like I've heard the worst already. I've been doing this for a long time.
All right, hey man,
What's going on? What's your standpoint?
I agree with you on everything.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, some of these are just like really stupid because touch braids exist.
Right, exactly. Dutch braids exist and black women still wear those. So I'm like, but they can't wear black hairstyles. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
But no, I definitely appreciate the support. I'm gonna get somebody else on here. You have a great night.
yeah, you too.
All right, let me see. Y'all said, why is this the topic? Because it's a pandemic. There's too many wigs and weaves that you guys wear today. It's destroying the bonquishes today. What is your standpoint?
I disagree. It's
Why do
not
you
the same because braids are a cultural thing. Having blonde hair is genetic. It doesn't have anything to do with culture.
okay? So my thing is just because it's cultural, that means they can't wear it. Y'all get the likes up too. Let's get to 1K likes. Just because it's
Well,
cultural, they can't wear it.
braids they do have, it's like deeper than just culture because during slavery, it was used to make like pathways to escape like plantations. So having blonde hair is like black people can also have blonde hair. I literally have a cousin. She's fully African. She has blonde hair naturally. So to say black women shouldn't wear straight blonde wigs because they're trying to look like white women, that's just not true.
But they do not grow straight blonde hair.
It's possible for them to.
It's not possible.
It is
It's not.
possible because I have a
No,
cousin
when a
who
black
literally
when a
has
black
blonde hair.
when a black person grows blonde hair, most times it's going to be albinos, and most times it's going to be, or all the time, it has some type of curl pattern. It's never straight. But do you know who grows straight blonde hair? Little
Well,
bit.
white women also curl their hairs. So why
But
don't we get on them for curling their hair?
because some of them naturally have curly hair. A
But
lot of them,
but most of them curl them.
but it doesn't matter. They're not curling their hair all the way up to look like an afro. But
I
you
mean,
guys are
some do. Bob Ross.
What?
Bob Ross, he definitely does his hair to look like an afro, and people think it's natural, but it's really not.
I'm not sure who that is, but on average, they do not try to look like black people. You guys, this hair right here literally comes from a European woman. Literally.
No, it doesn't. We do not get our hair from Europeans. We get them
Do you know
from
what
East Asia, South Asia, Middle East. It's never from Europe.
do you know what Brazilian hair is?
Yes.
This is Brazilian hair. Do you know what Brazilian women are?
Indigenous and sometimes white.
Exactly. The ones who have straight hair are European. The ones who have kinky hair are most times going to be natives or black people. So if you're getting your hair from a Brazilian, you're getting your hair from a white woman. So
Native people also have straight hair though.
she's literally wearing white women's hair, but they can't wear a hairstyle. Not even wear hair from her head, but just a hairstyle. What sense does that make?
Because it's culturally insensitive to wear someone else's culture while disrespecting them and trying to act like Black women. As you see, when white women wear braids and stuff, they start having this kind of demeanor to them that's like trying to mimic Black women. And that's not true. When it comes to Black women wearing blonde wigs, they're not trying to act white. They're just trying to protect their hair and look good while doing it.
Okay, so even if that was the case, even if they're trying to act Black, right? She's literally trying to act white. She puts this on, hair that looks just like hers, and then her makeup. Most times you guys do that contouring of the nose to try to make it look more slim. Who has most slim noses? Europeans. That's a European feature. So you guys do things to look exactly like them, but then when they do the same, it's a bad thing.
That's not really, because Black women, we make our nose smaller just because like it's always been just looked down upon to have bigger noses. So when we contour our nose, it's like we're not trying to look like white women. We're just trying to just feel better, like look prettier. Like big noses are beautiful, but when contouring them, people just like want to be like, I don't really know how to explain it, but like,
no, but that's the thing about it. We live in a, okay, originally we were conquered by Europeans. So that's why that's the beauty standard, because we live in a European society. So then you guys, the beauty standard is a small nose and features and like fine hair, straight hair. These are features of a European woman. So just think about it. If we were never colonized, do you actually think Black women would be wearing wigs that look exactly like their hair?
Yes, because wigs were actually used before colonization. And I mean, Black women were just wearing wigs way before they were taken to America.
No, so I know what you're talking about. It's Egyptians. Egyptians did used to wear wigs. You're right about that. But when they wore wigs, they weren't wearing straight down, bust down, Becky looking wigs. They wore wigs because there was hierarchical standards, like kings and queens wore wigs. The everyday person didn't wear wigs just because, oh, I don't feel like doing my hair today, let me slap on a wig. Everyday people were not wearing wigs like that. So that's false.
Well, I mean, it's not even about like, oh, if they were wearing wigs or not. It's just like when Black women wear wigs, it's just like not the same way white women wear braids. We wear it to protect our hair. The whole point of wearing wigs is to protect our hair because we have coily hair that is subject to breakage. So putting on wigs allows us to protect it, but wearing blonde wigs has nothing to do with wanting to be white.
Okay, tell me how a wig protects your hair.
Okay, so underneath the wig, you Hello?
My bad, I got a phone call. You said, so okay, where we left off is you said you wear the wigs to or under the wig is cornrows. And then what were you saying after that?
Yeah, the cornrows are used to lock in the moisture. And when we wear our hair out, it's a lot of work to just like keep your hair maintained while it's natural. So we put it into braids.
Yeah, okay. So you said cornrows are not the nicest looking?
Um, because you're not supposed to like take them out and refresh them often. So keeping them in for a long time allows them to grow faster and like more nicer. So when wearing cornrows, you keep the wig on for a while because you don't have to really freshen it up, make it look more cleaner, just like nicer. So when wearing cornrows, you lock in the moisture, allow your hair to grow healthier, and what was the last one? And just like allow your hair to just be in it, like just like not a lot of tension on the hair. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I understand that. So nothing that you said, nothing that you said validated why a wig is making your hair protected. Everything that you said supported the cornrows under there, making the protective hairstyle. The wig has no purpose. If the cornrows are already doing all the protecting that you need, why are you putting a wig on top?
Because you're not refreshing the cornrows. You're just leaving them alone. So putting over a wig just allows them to not to so like you don't have to see like, oh, it's all grown out, it's not freshened up. It's just you're covering it to make it seem like, oh, her hair is just fresh, like it looks nice.
Okay, but my thing is, why can't you just wear the cornrows out? Cornrows last for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Why can't you wear for 2 to 3 weeks and just get it redone? Cornrows only
People
take
just don't have that time and energy. A lot of people that wear wigs, they just don't have the time and energy. So wearing wigs is just a lot more easier for you to just have some hair maintained. Like it's easy maintenance while you don't really have to do anything.
So, but my thing is, I said every 2 to 3 weeks. Doing cornrows, that's one of the quickest hairstyles you can do. Most times they're done in big sections. So it only takes about maybe 30 to 45 minutes to get that done. You can't take 30 to 45 minutes every 2 to 3 weeks and do your natural hair.
For me, not really. Personally, not really. I personally wear my natural hair, but like a lot of people just have jobs and like they're in college. So wearing the natural hair is just like, I mean, wearing cornrows is just like easier for them, and to put a wig over that, so they just don't have to do anything.
But do you not understand that's hair neglection at that point? Because without any wig, or even with the wig, you're still supposed to touch up your hair and make sure it's redone and refreshed every couple weeks, even under the wig. So if you're just saying you do your cornrows and then you leave it in for a month or two, that means you're just neglecting your hair at that point, and you're not even. It's not even protection.
I mean, yeah, it's not really about like taking care. Like, it's not really about like wanting your hair to just like be what's the word? I can't really think about it, but when wearing, like, mostly people just don't really want to do too much to their hair. It's not even about like, oh, protecting the hair. It's just mostly about like not wanting to do too much maintenance, because natural hair is a lot of maintenance. When wearing cornrows, you do have to oil your scalp very often and keep it moisturized. So
But I mean, my thing is, you can still do all of that without a wig. Like, you can still moisturize and touch up the cornrows. There's no need for a wig. The only thing you're putting the wig on for is because you don't want to show the cornrows under there, because in your mind, you think it's unpresentable to show in the public. So that's the insecurity that you have. But I don't understand why you guys come on here and you cannot just admit when you're wrong. Just say, hey, I was wrong, instead of trying to fight idiotic points.
okay, the one thing I just don't agree with is that white women shouldn't wear braids and Black women should be allowed to wear straight wigs.
So, so you don't think they should be able to wear braids?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Because it's culturally insensitive, and it's also not even good for their hair. It like the tension is not like for their hair type.
ma'am, that tension is not for anybody's hair type. Do you know that Black women that wear cornrows all the time because they're always wearing wigs, it causes traction alopecia and it rips out their hair too? So you guys don't actually care about their hair. You guys are just saying that because you're mad because they're doing a Black hairstyle.
I actually have cornrows in right now. My hair is doing just fine. I have very thick, long 4C hair. So the cornrows, they're actually doing a lot for me. They're actually very, very helpful.
Ma'am, you are young, but I'm talking about when a woman wears cornrows for years on end because she's always wearing wigs, it can cause traction alopecia.
I mean, yeah, you're not really supposed to do it oftenly, like back to back. You're supposed to let your hair breathe often, like don't always get braids. So when sorry.
But that's the same thing that they can do. So if they do it here and there, it's not going to make them bald.
No,
Of course,
because a lot of white women, when they wear it just for the first time, like after they take it out, their hair just starts falling out.
well, a lot of them say that they wear box braids and their hair is not falling out. So my thing is that's only maybe some of them, but most times if they do a style like that, their hair is not going to fall out just because their hair is thinner. And not even all Becky's, not even all of them have fine hair. A lot of them have thick hair.
I still just don't think it's right because it's just like not it's like just really insensitive because a lot of white women that do wear the braids, they don't really respect Black people. They just want to mimic us and do the things we do, but they don't really want to like do their research, be respectful about it. They want to claim it most of the time too. Like they want to say, "Oh, we did it first. This is our hairstyle," but it's really not.
Did you do your research before you started celebrating Christmas?
Who said I celebrated Christmas?
Do you celebrate Christmas?
No,
What do you celebrate?
I don't celebrate anything.
Not even birthdays?
My birthday, yeah.
Do you know birthdays is a European tradition?
No, that's actually not true.
How do you know?
Because
You didn't do the research.
no, because in Africa, there's a lot of traditions where you celebrate their birth. Like I'm from Ghana, so personally, there's a lot of traditions to do when you turn certain ages.
Well,
So
did you do your research before you started eating pasta?
I don't really eat pasta that often, but no.
Did you do
Yes,
your research
actually,
before you started eating pizza?
no.
Exactly. That is not Black culture. It literally comes
I'm
from
aware. I'm aware.
Right.
Eating different cultural foods is not the same as wearing cultural hairstyles.
Why not?
Because you're not stealing from them. You're acknowledging that it's from someone else's culture.
Okay, but how did they steal from you? If she just put in box braids, how is she stealing from you?
She wears the braids and says that it's hers. And even if she doesn't, it's just like she tries to put on an act. And then when we call her out on it, she acts like, oh, I'm not trying to be like nobody. You know what I'm saying?
She puts in the wig and she says it's hers. Same thing.
No.
Ma'am, it is. Okay.
I would say like the wigs do come from Indian people, Brazilian people, and like
And
people
European.
from not European though. Because it's different. European people don't have the same hair like Asian and Middle Eastern people. Their hair is like more silkier, and like white people hair is like compared to like dog fur, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like in the rain, it just smells like pennies and stuff. Like it's just different, you know what I'm saying?
It's not. But what we're gonna do
is
we're gonna get the next guest on here because we keep going in circles. I already explained to you how there is Brazilian hair that is European hair. I already said that before. And now you're just going in circles and you're lying. What is your standpoint?
What's up? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
You remember me? You had the Bruno Mars wig on last time. Now you have on the Justin Bieber. How you doing? What's up, Justin Bieber? You remember me?
Baby,
Hey, where you get that wig from? Where you get that wig from?
this is my hair. What is your standpoint?
How much you pay for that wig?
This is mine.
How much you pay for that wig? How much you pay for that wig? You on here talking about we shouldn't be wearing wigs when you got that from the dollar store for $19.99. What up, my God?
Come on now. Come on. Nah, this is mine.
Nah, for real, look, bro, where the Bruno Mars wig at you had on last time?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Bro, you had on the Bruno Mars wig last time.
Nah, but I appreciate you coming up. We gonna get somebody else up here because you just up here trolling, bro. Like, what's going on? I don't even know what she's talking about. The Bruno Mars wig. What you mean? What is your standpoint?
I can't get on this thing.
All right. If anybody's willing to turn on their camera, then you can skip the line. And I'll pick you next. What is your standpoint, Kiara?
Are you sure that ain't a wig?
Why are you
Let me see. Pull your hair right now.
Why are you wearing
Let me see. I'm a hairstylist. Let me see the ends.
But why are you wearing a wig?
Why am I wearing? I don't wear wigs.
What do you wear?
But I know a lot of girls that do, but I don't support it.
Oh, why not?
Well, I feel like they should just embrace their natural hair. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you think they wear the wigs today, though?
Well, I feel like everybody just trying to be everybody else, you know? People see other people looking good on social media. They trying to look like that too.
You think they maybe want to be like Becky?
Yeah. They definitely trying to look white.
Yeah, 100%. So you don't wear any fake hair though?
No. I do. I'm Mexican. I'm not gonna lie. I do like doing braids. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, okay. I thought you were black. Okay, that
No.
makes sense. So what is your hair type?
It's fine hair. I have fine hair, straight hair.
Fine straight hair. Okay. So this is why she doesn't wear the wigs and fake hair, because she likes her hair. When a woman likes her hair, she doesn't wear the wigs and the weaves.
All right, well, I'm about to get off here so you guys like arguments and shit.
Have a good night. See? Dang. Coming from a Mexican woman, she think y'all want to be like them. Even she knows. But y'all don't want to admit it. Crazy. All right, what is your standpoint?
Hey, girl.
Bruh.
I think people should.
All right. I think you were trolling. If you weren't trolling and you were trying to say something, request again. But I saw Nancy Parker. You said you would turn your camera on. So
all right. I have a question for you.
You said you would turn your camera on though.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
How do I do that?
It should be just like a little button you hit and then click save.
Okay. So, why do you insist on getting on the internet and embarrassing Black women? Like, you can have this conversation. I get it. You want the natural hair movement. I understand that. But why do you insist on getting on the internet, posting these videos, and not standing up to white people when they're saying, oh, it's the Saba's wig braids, and you know it's not the same. You know it's not.
But how am I embarrassing Black women?
By going up there, like, we don't want to wear natural hair. What else have you been saying? saying we don't want to wear our natural hair because we don't like our natural hair, saying we wear wigs because we want to be like them. Why are you letting them think that we want to be like them?
Just because I tell the truth doesn't mean I'm trying to embarrass anybody. I say
You're
good
not
things.
telling the truth. Do you know the
That
history
is the
behind
truth,
why
though.
we had to wear straight hair? Like, honestly, it's getting better. Like, we can straighten our hair. Typically, I mean, natural pin straight hair, even for like white people, is rare. Unless you're Asian, they have pin straight hair. But natural pin straight hair is rare. They have to add heat to their hair to get it pinned straight.
But they do grow pin straight hair.
Who? Asian people?
Them too, but black women do
They
not.
grow pin straight hair. Like I'm saying, most people have a curl pattern to their hair. Wavy, whether that be wavy or curly.
Okay, but how am I trying to embarrass black women?
I just said you're going on here saying we hate ourselves for wearing wigs when we want to protect our hair.
It is, but that doesn't protect your hair. That's from
How does it
self-hate.
not?
A wig protects your hair? How?
You wear cornrows. It grows under the cornrows. I mean, nobody wants to walk around with cornrows.
Why
A
not
lot
though?
of people can't pull that off.
Okay, but why do you feel insecure in cornrows?
I mean, me personally, it's like getting feed-in braids. You don't see a lot of girls walking around with feed-in braids where they add extensions to cornrows because it's not, a lot of people can't pull that off. It's not cute. It's just not.
But who said it wasn't cute?
Society.
Okay, so just because society has a standard, that's what black women have to follow.
Not necessarily. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't feel confident cornrowing my hair and walking out. And it's
And why?
not bad. Because me personally, I don't feel like I look good in that hairstyle. There's a lot, like, it's just like, I don't feel like I look good with a side part. I don't feel like I look good with a bun. It's exactly like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. If they want to put a wig on to cover up their hair, then they could put a wig on.
Okay, they can
And why'd
definitely
you take
do
the
that.
big screen?
They can definitely do that. No, you can they could definitely do that, but just like you're wearing your natural hair, right? Am I right?
No,
That's a fake wig.
that's not a wig.
What is that?
It's extensions of a sew-in. So
So
technically
how,
I am and technically I'm not.
so how long is your natural hair?
That doesn't matter.
It does matter. That's why
It
you're
doesn't
wearing the
matter.
fake. Because if your hair looked like that, you would not put that on.
That's not true. If I want to add length to my hair, I can add length to my hair. White women add length to their hair. They wear extensions. Do they not?
Yeah, but most times when they wear extensions, or all the time when they wear extensions, it looks exactly like their hair. When
Okay,
you
and it
got,
looks exactly like mine.
but no,
I added extensions to my hair.
but I'm saying on average, when a black woman who has 4C hair puts in extensions, it does not look like her natural curl pattern. It looks like her curl pattern or her straightness of her hair. So why can't it will be more acceptable if black women were out here wearing like their own curl pattern type extensions and wigs, but they're not doing that. They're most times wearing wigs that look just like this, and that's
not a problem. Did you not know it's just recently black women just recently are allowed to wear wigs, not wigs, but braids in their natural what's it called? Their natural coils to work. What, in 2010 when I mean my mom, she holds a very professional job. She got relaxers. It's not till when I said, "Hey, let's go natural." And I think that was like what, in 2014, she agreed. You weren't allowed to walk into the workplace with braids. You were not, it was seen as unprofessional. You were not allowed to walk into the workplace with coils.
right. I do understand that, but since now you can do it, that's even more the reason for you not to put in any fake hair. Since the 60s, 50s, or not 50s, but like 60s, 70s, 80s, black people have fought for years for you to be able to wear your natural hairstyles, braids, afros, things like this. And now you guys can actually do it. And now you guys are going against everything that they ever fought for.
I mean,
Well,
I
most
get that, but like it takes time. It takes time to be comfortable in your natural hair. I mean, hell, I used to be a straight hair bandit. I like the straight of my shit. It's not until recently until I started like, hey, okay, I have pretty hair. Like everybody has pretty hair. It takes a second. It just it takes a second to become comfortable in yourself. And there's nothing if they want to straighten their hair, if they want to wear straight hair, they could do that.
right. So, but that's what I'm saying. It's due to an underlying insecurity of why Black women put on the wigs and the weaves today. Because if it wasn't an insecurity, then they would just be comfortable wearing their natural hair out and then like here and there wearing a wig or a weave. But the Black women that wear wigs and weaves all the time, it's because of an insecurity. And it's that, and also because some of them subconsciously want to be like Becky.
I mean, I don't think it's because we want to be white. It's not because we want to be white. Why the fuck would we want to, or why the heck, I'm sorry, it's just a TikTok. Why would we want to be white when there's literally white girls buying our products off the shelves trying to embrace their natural curl pattern when they have wigs? Why would we want to be white?
What do you mean they're
Have you
trying
not
to?
seen those videos
What videos?
of them taking our products off, like our Shea Moisture and Mayel before Mayel had a problem, of them taking our products off the shelves and them trying to embrace their natural curls with their waves?
No, I haven't seen that, to be honest. But even it doesn't matter how much product that they put in their hair, it can't look like a Black woman's hair.
I mean, white people have curls.
Yeah, they have curls.
Mayel is not owned by a white man, whoever just said that. Her name is something Rodriguez. It's a Black woman. You said what?
Yeah, I mean they have curls, but it still does not look like Black women's hair when they put in.
Okay, and there's white girls, and I've seen this too. They'll take a little tiny curling wand and curl their hair and then brush it out to make it look like they have natural curls.
Yeah, but
Honestly, your hair type is genetic, and I don't mind them doing that. I don't care because I think curls are beautiful. But it's just this whole thing with you saying it's okay for them to wear braids and stuff and like sharing our culture that doesn't sit right with me.
I just mean at the end of the day, the way I look at it is most times they are wearing their hair. So if they want to do a style with their hair, there's nothing wrong with that. But most times you guys are putting on a wig and extensions that look just like their hair. Like if you want to style your own hair in any type of way, that's fine. But why do you always have to put in the fake hair in there? Like what is wrong with just short hair? Like why are you not comfortable rocking a short afro and short hairstyles?
It's the same. It's literally the same. A white woman putting in extensions and a Black woman putting in extensions. Is it not the same?
It's not because y'all don't have the same hair. Like if y'all
Okay,
had
so what's the
the
difference
same
between
hair,
a Black woman putting in extensions that matches her hair and a white woman putting in straight extensions?
yeah. So that's something I agree more with, but that doesn't happen like that. Like yours, the extensions you have, I'm
And
guessing.
no, I'm not biracial.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
guessing they look closer to what your hair actually looks like. But a lot of the times they put in extensions like this, so they braid it up under there, and then they put in straight extensions that look nothing like their hair.
And they straighten their hair. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to switch up your hairstyle. I mean,
Yeah,
at
but
the end, people straighten if they want to be straight, if they want to wear straight hair, that shit. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with straightening their hair. I mean, if they feel like they look better with straight hair, they feel like they look better with straight hair. I mean, a lot of girls with curls straighten their hair, white people. So
I
I mean, I don't understand what you're trying to get at.
yeah, I understand that. There's no problem with you trying to switch up your hair. The problem is just when you put in the fake hair because you do not need fake hair to switch up your hair. When white women are when they put in the fake hair, they're not doing it to switch up their hair. They're doing it to add volume and make their hair that they already have look fuller. They're not doing it so they can look like their race.
Second.
All right, let me read these comments real quick.
All right, fuck this. Thank you for getting.
Brian. That's like the fifth person just to log off tonight. I'm cooking too hard. They can't handle it. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the 15K likes.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I have one question. I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
How are you gonna sit up here and talk about black women wearing extensions when, dude, you got on a whole wig?
What are you talking about?
That's not your real hair. I'm not stupid. That's your real hair? Or is that a wig?
Does it look crazy though?
Nah. So I know you trolling, because you gotta be trolling. You can't be coming up on here talking about black women wearing wigs when, dude, you got on a whole blonde wig. What's going on?
Oh, so you think this looks nice on me then?
No, I think you look real buffoonish right now. I think you look you sound crazy. You look and sound crazy. I'm trying to figure out how you finna talk about black women when you got this going on. This is how I know you're trolling.
Thank you for saying that, because that is the exact reason why I put this on. Because this is the same way the rest of the world outside of black women look at you guys when you guys put stuff like this on. This is exactly.
And guess what? We black women, we don't care. I understand that girl who just came up. I personally don't agree with a lot of stuff she was saying. She can't speak for the entire fucking group of people. I'm sorry, I don't mean to curse. But y'all getting me heated, and a lot of y'all in these comments too. Y'all keep saying it's an insecure thing. It ain't never an insecure thing. For me personally, and this is not just a black women thing or just a thing in general, when we as women decide to switch up our hair, whether that's change our hair color, whether that's put extensions in, it's a form of expression, especially with these current girls now, with these girls in this current day now, these youngins, it's a form of expression. I'm constantly hearing, and it's not just from, you or other people. I'm hearing we need to wear our natural hair from.
Okay, explain to me how it expresses anything about you. What is it expressing?
Because you're switching up your hair. Okay, let me say this. I personally don't like straightening my natural hair. I'm not for the straightening. I'm not for the damaging my natural hair. But I like the idea of, having color and being able to straighten my hair and do something different. I don't want to do that with my natural hair because it's going to ruin it. I don't want to dye it. I don't want to straighten it. I haven't straightened my hair in a long, long time. So if I want to do something different, I'm going to wear a wig. That doesn't mean I hate my hair. That doesn't mean I hate myself. I'm going to wear a wig.
The question was, how does it express you? Then you said, because I switch it up.
Because it's a form of expression. You can express yourself in many different ways. I'm a person like this. Oh my gosh, dude. Do you not knowing about people expressing themselves in fashion? Do you know not knowing how to express yourself in fashion? In a sense of fashion, in a sense of style? That's how people express themselves.
What are you expressing? Please tell me.
Oh my gosh, dude. If you can't understand that people express themselves through their clothes, I am though. I'm quite literally answering you. It's a sense of expressing your style and what you like. People have their own aesthetics and things that they like. And that's why a lot of people like to have different hair colors. You're not getting it.
Let me teach you something really quickly. Nothing out of you expresses who you are. The things that I say, the things that I speak, how I move, hold on, wait, let me finish. How I move, how I act. That is what expresses somebody. Because if I have this wig on and you have this same wig on, what does that say about me and what does that say about you? It doesn't say anything different. It just says that we're wearing the same wig. But how you express who you are is what you say and how you move and how you act. So you guys saying that these wigs and your clothing expresses who you are? No, the clothing and wigs, Asian people made that.
Bro, what? Oh my God.
Do you not comprehend that? Like, do you not get that?
So Asian people, the only people that makes hair and clothes now? What are you on, bro? What are you talking about?
You got to go get an education of comprehension.
No, I think you need to go get an education because generally speaking, what are you talking about?
No, you still never answer my question of what it expresses.
I personally think you're not getting what I'm saying, because you know that there's different forms and a way to express yourself. The expression that you're talking about is a completely different expression of what I'm talking about. You never heard a person talking about expressing themselves through a form of art or through a form of doing something?
What is a wig expressing though?
Oh my gosh. So like I feel like just everything I just said just like went out the window. I really feel like everything I just said.
Because look, if I go and put a blonde wig on and I chop my nose up and I chop my lips up to make them look smaller, like Michael Jackson did, what are you going to think about me?
Let's not talk about wait. So if we want to get on this topic, let's talk about, because you over there talking about getting plastic surgery, and apparently black women over there shortening their noses and getting their lips smaller. So
Answer my question. What are you going to think I'm trying to be if I straighten up my nose, get smaller lips, like my skin, and I put a blonde wig on? What are you going to think about me? Chat, what are you guys going to think about me if I do that?
I'm not going to think nothing about you, because personally, I don't care. That's none of my business on what you got going on with yourself.
Right. Look at the chat. They're saying right.
That's because that's what they're assuming. So if that's the case, if we're gonna go off that, so why don't you not say nothing about all the white women like the Kylie Jenner and all the Kardashians that love to get their hips wider, and they over here changing cornrows to boxer braids, and they getting their lips bigger. And why is this only a one-sided thing? Because when old girl was up here, she was actually the same thing about the white women and hair extensions, and you said that's not the same, when it quite literally is. All these white women walk around here wearing hair extensions, and if you want to talk about why black women apparently don't wear their hair extensions in their natural hair texture, they do. I see black women on here all the time wearing hair extensions as their natural hair color. I think the problem is you're not looking at black women. Your feed isn't black women. Your feed is completely and only white women, and you're catering to them. And it's weird. It's really weird, because I feel like it's a one-sided thing.
Hold on. It's not about the color of the extension. It's about the curl pattern of the extension. Black women are not growing straight hair.
Actually, that's not true, because there's plenty of black women that are growing straight hair.
Okay. Name one black woman you know that grows straight hair.
I personally don't know them, but they exist. Let's not act like they don't.
They exist.
That's like, okay, but they exist. Just because I don't know them, just because you personally don't know them, let's not sit here and act like there isn't black women out there with looser hair textures. Come on, let's not be this. Let's not be dense.
Wait.
Come on now.
Why are you using people that you've never seen to fight an argument?
What do you mean? Because we're speaking on black people as a whole. You're talking about black women as a whole, bro. So if we're talking about black women as a whole, we're going to speak on the whole dynamic, the whole diaspora of black women. There's a bunch of black women out there that I've never met that I know has looser hair. Come on, let's not be dense. You talk about me going back to school.
Hold on. That statement made zero sense. You just said there's black women
out
there. Hold on. You said there's black women out there that I don't know that have this curl pattern. How do you not know them or never seen them, but you know that
because it's genetics, because I have seen black women with 2A and 2 this hair texture. So if I can see them, then they definitely have to be some black women out there with 1A and 1 hair texture. Let's not act like that's not a thing. Come on now. You just don't want to admit it. You want to make it seem like we're insecure about wearing wigs.
If you said there's black women out there with 4C curly hair, I would say yes, because I live in the truth. You live in
So you're telling me there isn't black women with 3C hair, like a 3 hair texture type with the 2 hair texture type? You're telling me there isn't those black women that exist?
No. Don't try to switch the argument, because
no, I'm not trying to switch the argument, because that's what you're saying though.
Wait. No. I said there's not black women out there with straight hair. I've seen personally black women with 3C hair. So I know that exists. But I'm talking about straight hair. I have not seen that, and you've never seen that either. So you're making stuff up.
Actually, no, ain't nobody making nothing up. It's all about genetics at the end of the day. You can't personally dictate whether a black woman hair is gonna come out kinky or straight or not. It's about genetics, bro. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not saying that, look, I'm not saying that it's a thing that it's like everywhere you go around. I'm not saying that you walk outside and it's going to be that. No, I'm saying it's probably some rare cases, but it exists. Come on now, like there's definitely white people out here who have.
All right. Now you can exist in the chat because now you're going in circles and making zero sense. Like even the chat is saying now she's switching up her argument. Bro, you're making no sense at all. None. There's not black women out here with straight hair. That's cap.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can.
So what is the argument? Because I'm just trying to understand first.
Yeah, so it's okay for Becky's to wear culturally black hairstyles, but it's not okay for black women to wear wigs.
I mean, it comes from cultural appropriation, right? Like white people. Why do you think it doesn't exist?
Because it doesn't exist. Because they put on a hairstyle as cultural appropriation.
I mean, no, it does exist because like white people were trying to make black people feel less than because they have box braids in or something like that. Like I wouldn't say bullied, but I've been picked on just because I have a different hair texture and doing different hairstyles. And I feel like it also comes from like, I don't know. I just think that it comes from a point where
Look, the thing about it is, like somebody just said in the chat, it's cultural appreciation, not a cultural appropriation. It's cultural appropriation or bad if they're saying, hey, this style comes from white people and this comes from our culture, when clearly the style does not. I would agree with you there. But if a Becky just wants to put on some box braids, what is the issue with that?
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but I feel like it stems from a point where like if you've been bullied so much for the skin color or like your hair texture, and then you want to express yourself through like box braids or something, and then you just see like a white person doing it, it kind of feels like, you know, somebody bullied you for that, and then now they're going out to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I understand that, but I don't think we should punish all YT people just because some of them did that back in the day. So if she wants to put on a hairstyle, that's fine, especially if you're putting on a hairstyle that looks like their people's hair.
okay, well, me personally, I know this sounds wrong, but I'm at a point where if I see a white person doing box braids, I would just ignore it because I'm not going to give them the time of day to like, you're doing this, you're doing that, because it's just like, it's not going to go anywhere. They're going to be like, you know, I can do whatever I want. But it comes to a point where like, if a white person is doing like box braids or something, they do edges, they do like long nails, and then they like talk in like a black accent, you know what I mean? Then it feels weird. Like that feels like they're trying to be black, you know what I mean? And then like if a black woman is just putting on a wig, it's just like a form of expression. Like if a white person was dyeing their hair, they're just expressing themselves. It's just our way of just expressing ourselves in a way, like, you know what I mean? Like it's not from us hating our hair textures, more so like we don't want to damage our hair, so I'd rather put on a wig to prevent that, and it gives us more of a way to just express yourself, you know?
Well, you said when they put on a hairstyle and now they're acting black. I could understand that if a girl who grew up in a predominantly like white area and now she puts in box braids and now she's trying to act ghetto. But most of the times, I would highly doubt that that's happening. Most of the times, a white woman who is acting that way, she actually grew up around other black people and she has black friends. So that's her natural accent, and that's how she already acts. And most times, that's why she is going to put in the box braids, because she sees all her friends doing it. So now she wants to do it too. Not because she's trying to steal black culture. She just wants to do a hairstyle.
That's understandable. I just feel like that's the equivalent of like if a white person was hanging around black people and then they're like saying the N-word, and then like, you know, these group of black people are letting their white friends saying the N-word, but then if they say it around a different group of black people, then they're gonna react the type of way. Like, you know what I mean? It's based off of like a group of black people will accept it, but they have to put in consideration that like it's not just everybody that will accept it, because like, you know, if you're like literally bullied for your skin color and everything, it's not like something that you can just like, you know, like that just happened. It's like something like it sticks with you, you know what I mean? So like it's not like, it's a form of just, it just feels like it's unfair that somebody could go out of their way to hate you and then trying to be like you. Like that's where I'm trying to come from.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, I understand that, but you guys want to be like them too.
No, I don't think so. There is probably people out there that do, but like when black women try to put on wigs and stuff, it's not because we want to be like white people. It's just because we want to express ourselves. Like box braids is expressing ourselves, cornrows, and then wigs is just like a different form of expression. Like it's just different colors of wigs and stuff. We don't want to damage our hair, so we'd rather put on wigs. Like
look at black women's queen, Beyonce. Look at her. She wants to be like Becky. She wants to be like Taylor Swift.
How do you say that? Like why?
Look at Beyonce's natural hair. It does not look like the wigs, the straight blonde wigs and stuff that she's wearing. And then she's also had nose surgery to make her nose more slim to look like Taylor Swift's. And then she also wears makeup that lightens her skin because she wants to be like Taylor Swift and the Beckys.
I don't get it, to be honest. So you think that her doing nose surgery is her trying to be white in a way? Like, what if she's just insecure about certain things? It's not just coming from, oh, I want to do this because I want to look like I'm white. Like, you know, like it's just coming from probably insecurity, but it's not coming from wanting to be white or a different race.
So you're saying that's why black women put in the fake hair today, because they're insecure?
No, you were just bringing up her, so that's what I'm trying to say. It could stem, like, to be honest, yes, it could stem from insecurity, but honestly, I know that it could stem from also just expressing yourself. Like, as I said before, like, it's just, also I wanted to add the fact that, like, what do you think about white women curling their hair to the point that it looks like coils, or Japanese women, like, doing those perms to make their hair look like 4C type of hair? Like, that's what I don't get, because you're more so, like, talking about black women wanting to be like white women, but there's, like, so many other races to, you know, that's what I'm trying to understand, because it feels like you're more so trying to like pick at black women, but you're not putting into consideration that there's other races. Also, like us having straight hair, wigs that are straight hair doesn't mean that we want to be like white women. Like you're picking white women, even though there's like Asian women that have straight hair, there's like Indian women that have straight hair, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
Like why did you specifically pick white women? That's my question too.
I understand that. So I'll answer that question. Chad, let's get the likes to 15K. But the reason why I pick Becky's is because we were not colonized by Asian people. So on our TV screens and everything, we're not seeing them predominantly. Even back in the day, we were not seeing them. We didn't grow up in societies around them. But we did grow up around YT people. So they are the only example of a straight blonde hair woman that we would get that from.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not good for this argument because I'm not American, so I don't know when it comes to like, you know what I mean, that part. So, but I'm just trying to understand that, because it just like it's coming, like when you talk about it, it just seems like you're trying to pick on black women more, like, you know, in a sense of like, I don't get what the issue is. If like, I feel like anyone could express their hair, but it's also, it comes from like, if white women do it, it just feels like they can do whatever they want in a sense. Like, you know, like, I don't know. I'm just saying that. Also, I'm not going to cry. I'm literally talking. I don't know why chat's saying that. That's weird.
Yeah, I understand that. But my thing is, if I were to speak on, or you guys are only okay if I say positive things about you. But the truth is not only positive. The truth tells the negative and the positive. So there has to be some people that point out the wrongdoings in the society, or you'll never grow. Because if if there's not people like me speaking out against wigs and fake hair, then wigs and weaves will grow and you guys will see no problem with it.
Wait, first, the only reason why my voice is shaky is because I've never been on a live, so this is my first time. But I get what you're coming from, but it's like you're generalizing all of us. Like you're just saying all Black women are insecure, even though like there could be a portion of us that are probably insecure and hiding from it, but there's also a portion of us that are just expressing yourselves. So it just seems unfair that you're trying to generalize us and just say like they're all insecure. They're doing this because they're insecure and they hate their hairstyle. Like that's what I mean. Like that's kind of, you know what I mean?
Right. So, but I didn't say all Black women are insecure. I said the ones who wear the wigs and the weaves. Most times it's only it only could be a couple of different options. Number one, you're just too lazy to do your own hair, or number two, you're insecure.
Okay, but there is like, let's say, because I have 4C type hair. So when I do twist to stretch out my hair, do you think I'm insecure about my hair texture because I'm just stretching it out? Because that's just a hair, like that's what Black women do. They do a twist out. You know what I mean?
No, because you're manipulating your own hair and you're wearing your own hair. You're not wearing somebody else's hair.
Okay, but then you're talking about straight hair too. So if I straighten my own hair, that's coming from insecurity?
It depends on how often you do that.
Well, I'm just saying in general.
No, so there's a difference. If there's a Black woman who straightens her hair a couple times a year, to switch it up, because that's switching it up. If you do something here and there, that's totally fine. But someone who always straightens their hair, or every time your hair is out, it has to be straight, you don't feel comfortable wearing your curls out or like a little small afro, then yes, you're probably insecure about your natural hair.
Oh. Well, damn. Okay, well, you should just pick somebody else to join because, yeah.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Hi.
What's up? What's your standpoint?
Right. So I just want to prove to people that whitey women can wear like wave dreads and stuff without the hair falling out. I'm just gonna show a quick picture that it is possible. So I had my hair like this, and my hair never fell out. So for people saying that your hair will fall out if you've got straight white hair, it's not gonna fall out. So that's just my point to some people.
Okay, I appreciate it. Chat, she just ate y'all up. Not gonna lie.
You can wear your hair however you want, regardless what texture. Yeah. Just enjoy your hair. Thanks for letting me up.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too.
She just cooked the whole chat. Not gonna lie. All right, what's your standpoint?
Like my standpoint is, why can't YT women wear braids and BLK women wear wigs? Like, why can't both do both?
Why can't both do both?
Yeah, like why can't YT women, like I think they should be able to wear braids, but I think BLK women can also wear wigs.
Because wigs have too many negatives.
What's the negatives?
Number one, really, any Black girl under the age of 18 should not be wearing wigs, because that's under the age of 18, or probably even probably like under the age of 20. You guys are still building yourself and building your self-esteem. So if you're wearing wigs and fake hair from the ages of like 5, where there's literally studies on that show that Black women wear wigs and weaves and extensions as early as the age of 1. You guys can go look that up. But if you guys are doing this, then it causes a lot of insecurities in little Black girls and things like that. So then when you guys grow up, you guys are going to be putting on the wigs, and then you're going to put on wigs on your children, and then you're by default going to make them insecure as well. So that's one point.
Yeah,
I agree that children shouldn't be wearing wigs, but I'm saying like for older, let's say you're a adult, why would it be bad to wear a wig? Because I believe, as I said, I believe white tea women can wear braids if they want to. But it's a grown one, let's say 25-year-old, a 25-year-old girl. Why is it bad for her to wear a wig?
You said a 25-year-old girl?
Yeah, like let's say she was a 25-year-old BOK woman. Why would it be bad for her to wear a wig?
So, number one, wigs by not well, wigs can cause indirect alopecia from the glue that you put on your forehead. That's why a lot of you guys don't have edges anymore because you guys are literally ripping them out. And then the braids under there cause also traction alopecia, which is little bald spots in your head. So, and then there is a whole bunch of chemicals in these different glues in the hair and everything that can also cause cancer and fibroids and things like that as well. So there's too many negatives when you already have hair. If you already have hair, why even put that on?
Yeah, those things happen when you're not taking care of your hair under your wig. Like I'm less if you're taking care of your hair under your wig, if you know how to apply a wig, because listen, I've never worn a wig. I've straightened my hair once, like as you can see in my profile pic, but I've never worn a wig. But if you look it up, if as long as you do your braids correctly, take care of your hair under your wig, not wear your wig for over a day, your hair will be fine. So like I just because as I said, white tea women they should be able to wear braids. BOK women, if they're old enough, if they know how to take care of their hair, they should wear wigs. So I just don't think if you believe that white tea women can wear braids, hair extensions, all of that, then BOK women, if they know how to take care of their hair, if they're old enough, they can wear wigs. Like I just don't like the biased part about it.
Yeah, but you said if you don't wear your wig longer than a day, there's a lot of black women that wear their wig way longer than that.
Yeah, that's the issue. The issue is not the wig, it's just the issue. The issue is that BOK women don't know how to take care of their hair under the wigs. So instead of saying, "Oh, don't wear wigs," I think we should just one, appreciate our natural hair more. Two, learn how to take care of our natural hair. But it's still fine if you want to throw on a wig every, I don't know, once a month, if we're old enough.
Yeah, but that's not the case though, because the black women that are wearing wigs, they do it all the time. They're not just doing it once a month because that's why they put on the cornrows or they do their hair in the cornrows and then they put the wig on every day. So that's not the case at all. They don't do that. And by them putting on the wig every day, that means they're insecure about their hair. Like if you guys go on YouTube right now and search natural hair journey, the black women that go natural, they never go back to a wig, weave, or anything like that. And they have their hair, it's natural now. But if they were not insecure or if they were insecure about their hair, then they would put on the wigs and the weaves and stuff like that. But they never actually go back to it because they don't need it because they actually start to love their hair. But black women today do not love their hair if you're wearing a wig or a weave.
Yeah, that's my point. I'm saying that the issue is we need to love our hair more. But with the wigs, the wigs itself is not the problem. It's just how we go about it.
But the wig is the problem though.
So let's say it's a, as I said, a 25-year-old. She knows how to take care of her hair, and this is her like let's she wears a wig like once a month, and then other months she goes all natural. In that scenario, would that be okay?
If she wears it once a month,
Yeah, like once a month. Like let's say once a month, as in once a day, because that's the actual not like that's the actual healthy time you should be wearing a wig. Like I think wigs stand up to like once a day. So let's say one day every month.
so if she wore a wig one day every month, no, I wouldn't see a problem with that. but that's not realistic.
Okay, so let's say 3 days, maybe 4 days, 5 days.
No, because you're not understanding when they put in the cornrows. Black women do not like to wear cornrows out in public because you guys call them jail braids and things like that. So once those are in, they wear the wig for a couple weeks until they refresh their hair again. And then they put another different wig in, or a sew in, or a lace front. But it's not realistic.
Yes, that's my point. I'm saying the wigs itself is not bad. Like you keep saying, oh, because they're wearing wigs every week, they're wearing it for too long. Yeah, that's how they go about it. I'm saying the wigs itself is not the issue. It's how we go about it. We need to wear our natural hair more, but if it's okay to still wear a wig. That's what I'm saying. And you saying it's about insecurity, all that. I think why can't BLK women just like straighter hair? Maybe BLK women think, oh, white tea women, they look pretty with straighter hair. I wouldn't mind wearing straighter hair. It's just like how white tea women sometimes they curl their hair, 3C curls to represent mixed women, or do that scrunching thing. Sometimes they want their hair to look longer. Sometimes they're dye their hair. It goes both ways. So I think it's just how you go about it. There's nothing wrong with a wig. Like
The point
even as he said.
today is take it all off. Don't ever put it on because you don't need it. That's the point. If you're wearing a wig and you wear fake hair, take it all out. Get rid of it. You're wasting money.
Yeah, that the same thing could be said for white teen women. You know, curl you get using all these products to curl their hair. I don't have a problem with that, but in your logic, white teen women curling. If you look up scrunching curls, how to make curls or all of that, there's a bunch of white teen women scrunching their hair, buying a bunch of products to make their hair more curly. And then also, if you look up, I don't know the brand. If you just look up curly hair tracks or whatever it's called, curly hair tracks, there's also a bunch of white women this generation as well, getting tracks to represent curlier hair. So that's not a problem, but in your logic, that would be a problem as well.
No, if they want to curl their natural hair, like I think you're missing the point. I'm talking about just fake hair. Fake hair, get rid of it. Get rid of it all. But what we'll do really quickly is I'm gonna let somebody else up because it's been a long time. I'll let the next person up at 20K likes. Then I'll let somebody else up here. All right, let's get the next person. If anybody's willing to turn on their camera, then you can skip the line, but you just got to put in the chat. But for now, let me see. Okay, Charlie.
Oh goodness, how do I put my camera on?
You gotta click like a little button and hit save.
Save. Okay, hold on. Oh, I see it.
Mm-hmm.
What is my camera? Come on. Because I have my hair in Bantu knots. I am extremely natural for see. Come on, let me try this again. I see the camera thing. It says live access needed to go live on video as a guest. It's saying I can only connect with audio only, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. What is your standpoint?
My standpoint is I think white women should be able to wear braids or cornrows or anything. I think this only angers a lot of black women because white women feel comfortable wearing a style that they won't wear in their own natural hair. Yes, think about it. They want to look like Becky and act black. But when I see a weave, most of the time when I see a black woman wearing a weave, regardless of the color, I see somebody who's mentally unstable. Like if you think about it, why would you say, well, we don't want to look white, we don't like white people, but you want to wear the same grade of hair? You want to say, well, it's culture appropriation, but you're wearing hair that's coming from East Asian women who sometimes shave it off for cultural reasons. Sometimes they shave it off because they need money. Even if you're wearing synthetic, it's something wrong. And I don't think it makes black women look any better. You can see the lumps under their weave. You can see the hair. It looks like their hair is sitting like 8 miles on top of their scalp, or you see these bumps to the side, like the edge of a table. And then when they take it off, they look in the mirror and they say, ew, I look ugly. One of the girls earlier, she came up and she said, well, not everybody can rock a cornrow look. That's very wrong because if white women do it and they do it so well that black women get enraged because they realize they're ashamed of their blackness. They might not be insecure, but they're ashamed of their blackness. There's nothing wrong with their hair. I wear an afro, I have 4C hair, and guess what? Women talk about, well, it takes a long time for us to do our hair. It takes me less than 20 minutes to detangle my hair. I have 4C hair. I don't use any heat on it. I use a spray ball and some Redken leave-in. I twist my hair up.
The reason why it takes you such little time is because you regularly take care of your hair. These black women, they wear wigs 24/7, and then a month later they go to redo their hair, and then they're like, "Oh, it takes all day." Of course, it's going to take all day if you haven't done your hair in about 2 months.
Yes, I see these black women jumping in the shower on some of these videos talking about, let's wash my weave with me, and it's still on their head, and they don't realize the damage they're doing to the real precious hair under their scalp. That hair is put there genetically for a reason. And then I hear black women talk about, well, you know what? We've got black women that grow straight hair. No, we might have, what are those Ethiopians, and they have curly fine hair. It's not genetically straight. And anybody who's of dark skin, that straight hair is like in the top 1%. That is not the norm for the average black woman here in America. Because let me tell you something. If something were to happen where they took a lot of those weaves and wigs off the market and black women could not wear that hair, they would look at themselves and they would say, I'm ugly. What can I do? How can I hide this? How can I hide this? If you really thought you were beautiful, why do you feel the need to wear it? They wear it like an epidemic. That's a costume. We get twisted over white women wearing cornrows because it makes black women kind of confront themselves. They don't want to come to the realization that they don't really like themselves. And I notice a lot of them have a very bad attitude problem. They can't speak. They can't put their thoughts coherently together. It's like wearing that weave is doing something to their head. And I'm not religious, but on a spiritual, for the lack of better words, on a spiritual level, they're doing something to their soul and their mind when they put that on top of their real hair.
And it's crazy that you say that because when we go out to film in public, the women that we film that are wearing their natural hair, they have such a peaceful vibe. They're always nice. But the women that are wearing the wigs and the fake Kennecolon hair and all of this, those are the ones that make the viral moments because they get so upset because I asked a simple question.
That's because they don't want to verbally admit to themselves that they think they're ugly. And that is a thing that it's hard to look at your shadow and do a lot of shadow work. Because when you look at history and you have the Tignon, I believe it's called the Tignon Law, where Black women were forced to cover their hair. Our hair was competition. Our natural so-called nappy and kinky hair was competition to white women, to the point we had to hide it. We have a lot of trouble these days as people of colored skin. We shouldn't be, it should be almost an act of resistance to wear our natural hair. It really should be. Even the texture, whether it's a 3 or 4, there's coil, there's strength to that coil. I mean, people genetically, we are the way we are because of certain environments. And when I see Black women wearing these weaves, I see self-hatred, I see jealousy. I see a lot of jealousy. They're not insecure, they're jealous of white women. They want to look like Becky. They don't want to act like her, they want to look like her. But they don't want to wear the cornrows because then it drives the point home that they're just African American or just Black, and there's nothing wrong with that. The more we stray away from that identity, the more misconstrued, the more weirder we get. I think it's mental illness. Getting into a shower and you want to show love and care to something that's not growing out your scalp.
Right. It's crazy though, because imagine you putting somebody else's hair on your head and you go to wash it every single night like it's your own. That is insane.
It is crazy. I see them flat ironing it. They're using expensive flat irons. And I'm like, good God, I've got natural hair. I might spend $30 a month on and not even every month because these products last me. And I'm not usually using just, let me see. I use Paul Mitchell and Redken. Those are so-called expensive, but I buy it once and I probably only need to buy it 2 or 3 times a year.
Right.
It's easy. And when I grew up as a kid, I grew up around a lot of white people. My mother, when I was older, she wore a lot of braids at the time because it was like early 2000s. She told me this, and my mother was a light-skinned woman. She wore braids. She wore perms. She said, Autumn, when I took those braids out, I would look in the mirror and say, I'm ugly. She said the braids did something to me. And she admitted it, even though she went on to wear it for many years afterwards. Black women do not want to do the shadow work. And that's why a lot of Black people are in a certain position they are now. If we can get this stuff off of our head, the better. There's something attached to the weaves and the wigs that's holding the Black community back, especially Black women, because we are a pillar in the community. We're the ones, we can make a lot of sense. But we're just sitting up here suppressing our hair, just like racist laws many years ago told us to do. And now we're going to keep doing it. And then we're going to say, well, we want to have self-expression. No, you're expressing self-hatred and jealousy. And I see when you talk to these people, they stutter a lot. They can't make any kind of valid point. And I can hear it in their voice. It's like you can hear the energy. They want to say, my hair, I'm ugly with my natural hair. If I wear it straighter, I can accept myself. They might not really care about a stranger accepting them, but they can look in the mirror and feel confident about themselves. And I think that is sad. It's okay to spruce yourself up once in a while, but when you keep putting on a generational curse, it is going to come and bite you in the ass. Do you know how embarrassing it is to be around people and people looking like, yeah, we know that's not her hair. Right. We know that's not her hair.
Other races laugh at Black women when they put on the wigs, but you guys don't know this. But I told that to the other girl, and she said, oh, we don't care. And it's crazy to me.
It is crazy because when I started wearing my natural hair, this was about 10 years ago. I'm 32 years old. I lived in the South. I lived in Atlanta, North Carolina. I lived around a lot of white people. Even white people would stop and look at our hair and all and say, oh, we love your hair. Black people, one Black woman nearly took off her wig. I saw her wig cap because she looked at our hair and got inspired. Our hair is not ugly. A lot of people we weren't taught how to deal with our hair. Therefore, our default is to hide it. And I understand that because I used to be there too. But now when you do a lot of shadow work. When you look at yourself and say, you know what, I don't need the extra stuff. I like the way I am. I'm happy. I can do this differently. I do twist outs on my hair and I wear a huge afro. I get stopped. I get looked at. I've had white cops stop and look. They didn't bother me. Black women need to realize when you put on that weave, you take a sense of protection off of you. There's a sense of protection when you wear that hair. If there's a cop on the road and he wants to stop somebody, he's going to be more energetically apt to stop a woman wearing weave because he's going to look at that woman with weave and say, she probably got drugs in her car. Oh, yeah, I can get her real good. He's not going to really want to stop somebody with big natural hair because he's going to think that person's probably educated. She's probably got a camera in her car and she's probably going to spit the law at me like bullets. A lot of people need to know what you will wear, what you do will attract. And the hair, the crown is very important. Black women, especially during these times, are very important. Bring the natural hair back. It will protect you. It will protect your energy. It will protect your health. It's a mental illness when you're wearing a costume every day. And that's what a wig and a weave is. It's a costume. White women, they're not wearing costumes. They might put their hair in braids. They don't walk around all the time in box braids. Even Black women are calling them dookie braids now. They don't even want to wear box braids.
Right. It's crazy. I just see so much shame when it comes to natural hair. Like every time I'm on TikTok, I see like girls shaming other Black women for their natural hair, but nobody ever shames the wigs and the weaves. Even though some of these wigs and weaves look crazy, just like this one, where I go out in Walmart and I see Black women with just frizzy, like straight wigs. But because it's a straight wig, it's okay. And then it's acceptable.
I literally went into a Kroger and there was a girl who was ringing up my groceries. Her lace in the front was lifted, and you saw the crust of the makeup, and you saw her hair under the weave. I think, and I won't stay too long because I know there's other people, especially there's a girl named Isabella who wants to come on.
Yeah, I've been seeing her. I might just let her up at the same
Yeah,
time.
let her on up. But yeah, I think Black women need to step away from the weave and breathe and think because then they're going to see certain things around them. The world will open up. I've never been bullied about my natural hair, and I'm 4C. I don't put any chemicals or heat in my hair.
And that's the thing about it. Like every time I speak to a Black woman that wears her hair natural, she says, I've gotten the most compliments today than I ever did. But the women who don't wear their hair natural, they're like, oh, we get shamed when you don't even wear your hair natural enough.
Yeah, I've never been shamed. Never been shamed. It's weave is very shameful because you got tens of thousands of people probably pass you every day and they silently say, we know that's not her hair. It's shameful. And they don't want to let that go. But yeah, let me let Isabella speak her piece. I'm so glad I talked to you. I saw you were in the DMV. I'm local in DC. And I like that you're bringing up these discussions. These discussions are very important.
100%. Hopefully I run into you one day and we can get an interview like on the street or something.
If I see you, I'm totally gonna run you down. See you.
Isabella, what is your standpoint?
Okay, I'm sorry. I just think that white women shouldn't wear braids, and it's okay for Black women to wear wigs and like express herself in that way. And why I say Black women, not Black women, but white women shouldn't wear braids, it's because braids it's a cultural thing. Like back in the day when women like in slavery would wear cornrows and stuff like that, it was a cultural thing. That's how they escaped slavery and all that. But now white women want to wear it today. That's why we don't want them to wear it, because it's a cultural thing. Wigs though, like wigs are different. Okay? And white women like Alabama Barker, she shows that she definitely wants to be a Black woman. But when she wears wigs and she like gets lip fillers to make her lips big and things like that, she doesn't get shamed.
Well, I don't agree with the lip fillers either. I think people should be who they were born to be, white or Black. But as far as I don't know why you guys keep saying it was cultural and Black people use these
Mhm.
braids to get out of slavery, because like who taught you that?
Did you not go to high school?
No, ma'am. Who taught you that?
About the braids?
Yes.
Literally I learned that in school. Did you not go to high school?
They did not teach that in school.
Okay, look it up. Look it up. It's
You were
true.
learning about George
Because
Washington.
that's how women, well, not just women, but Black people escaped in slavery.
Okay.
That's how they escaped slavery.
Even if
They put the routes in their hair. And that's why it's such a big thing for women, for white women to wear cornrows, because it's such a cultural thing and it's a part of Black women. And I don't get why you keep picking at Black women like, oh, wigs, oh, all these wigs, they just want to be white women. And it's just weird. It's just weird.
I'm not saying that Black women didn't use those braids, or Black people didn't use those braids to get out of slavery and draw different maps. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I asked you who taught you that, because I truly believe.
I told you who taught me that
I
in school.
Truly believe it's TikTok and the internet, because every Black woman that comes up here regurgitates the same thing. When I was in school, about like 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was, they did not teach that.
Okay, well, that's when you were in school. Okay, so today is different. Today, they did teach that in school. How about y'all look that up real quick? How about y'all do y'all research, please? Please do that. And with the crusty wigs, okay, with the crusty wigs, that's not all the time. Okay, that's not all the time.
I think she was talking about a comment that you made, Charlie. Or is it Charlie?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you were talking
They
about
didn't teach that in school. How about y'all look it up, please?
wig with that was lifting. I think she was talking about that comment.
Yeah, like that's not all the time. I get it. Some people do have crusty wigs, but it's just some people don't really know how to maintain them, and that's fine. And I'm a natural girly myself. I don't wear wigs. I don't wear braids often, but when I do,
people then if you don't wear it.
Hmm?
If you don't wear wigs and braids or fake hair often, then why are you defending them?
Because when I see these things, it's just so irritating, because why does it matter so much?
Because a lot of people had to fight for us to wear our hair. Certain people back in the day were killed if we wore our natural hair. Our natural hair was competition to white women. If we wore our hair out, we would be hung or killed. And we had a lot of people who fought.
Oh man, Jesus
That is
Christ.
like a middle finger to our ancestors who fought really hard so we can wear our natural hair. Our
People can't do nothing no more. Let my girls wear their wigs. Let my girls express themselves the way they want to. Stop picking at Black women for the way they want to be.
But a lot of Black people are not in the position right now to be wearing wigs and weave. We have a lot of issues in the Black race. We still face a lot of racism. And when we put that wig and weave on our hair, we're saying F you to people like Martin Luther King, people who come before us to fight for our Blackness. They didn't fight for weaves. They fought for the dark skin, the people who were too colored, the people who were darker than a paper bag, the ones with the so-called nappy hair and beady beads. So we could wear that in peace and be us and be free like everybody else. Mexican people wear their hair out. Asian people wear their hair out. White people wear their hair out. We need to do the same too. We need to put ourselves on a pedestal. We need to put ourselves on a pedestal so much that 4C wigs come into style. But that's not happening. When we put that thing on our head called a wig or a weave, we are going back in time. And why would we waste the suffering of the people that came before us?
Exactly. Oh, did she leave? I didn't even notice that. That's crazy.
People don't want to hear the truth when they're confronted with the truth.
Right.
They'll just leave. And I understand people want to look good, they want to express, but there's a deeper meaning that a lot of people are not strong enough or willing to understand. It's not kumbaya. We have people who are wrongly accused of things just because of their skin color. When we put that weave on, we're going back in time. We're going back. People, it's just, ugh. And yes, I know I do say the same things over and over again, but I want to say that because I want to drill this into people's heads. Wearing your hair out is honoring your ancestors, and we need to do that. Because if somebody got on here and said, fuck Martin Luther King, excuse my language, we would get on that person. If anybody said anything bad about the Black leaders that came before us and died for us, they would get all in arms, rightfully so. So Black women in particular don't need to touch the weave or wig because we need to make a statement.
Exactly. Mocha, what is your standpoint? Why did you ask to come up?
I asked to come up because I'm from Africa, and the topics that you were talking about, particularly about Black women wearing wigs and pouring cornrows under the wigs, I see that a lot. I'm half African, half American, and when I came to America, I've seen also a lot of white women wear wigs. And where I'm from, it's very normal for Black women to put wigs on their hair or anything. It's not meaning that you don't want to take care of your hair or you don't like your hair. It's just you want to put wig on for the day. What I've seen is that most people where I'm from don't care. They don't bat an eye. But here in this country, everyone cares what the Black woman has on her head. I've seen so many debates, not even just about hair, about makeup, about eyelash on Black woman, but all these things that you people be debating about on Black woman, I see on white women all the time. All the time. Why do you people care what is on a Black woman? If it's a white woman now wearing wig, no one will care. But now, if a Black woman is wearing wig, someone cares.
Think about it. If a white or if a Becky, if she was wearing a Afro wig, do you think she would get hate for that?
You said if a white woman was wearing what?
An Afro wig that looks like your natural hair. How would you think Black women would feel about that?
Oh yes, because why is she wearing an Afro wig if she's white?
Exactly. So why? That's the same thing when you guys put on straight wigs. This is how we feel about it as Black men and other people, even white women. They look at you guys like you're crazy. So why do it?
But my point is that it's just a style. Whether or not a Black woman puts wig on her hair doesn't necessarily mean she's insecure.
Okay, but it's just a style when you put on a straight wig, but when she wants to put on an Afro wig, it's not a style anymore.
Me personally, I don't care.
When she wants to wear cornrows, it's not a style anymore. She can't do it. Why?
Where I'm from, if someone wants to put on braids, nobody cares. I've seen many white women go into braiding shops, get their hair done. Money is money, sha. No one cares. But what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter. The matter of wigs and putting wigs on, it doesn't necessarily mean someone is insecure if they want to wear a wig. It doesn't mean somebody's insecure. It could simply mean they just want to change style. They just want to do something. I also agree that people should love their hair and their natural hair. And I've seen many sad stories of people wearing wigs and the hair underneath deteriorates because they don't take care of their hair. But putting on a wig, whether putting on wigs and weaves, does not necessarily mean that you're insecure or that you're trying to hide your natural hair.
It also could mean that you're lazy. If you're not insecure, you're just plain lazy and you don't want to do your hair.
Well, that doesn't mean that you're lazy either. What if someone just wants to put on a wig and they're like, oh, I just want to try it out? Is that wrong for them to do?
That is not happening. They're not just trying out a wig. You guys are wearing wigs most of the year, and your hair is
you guys. This is it's generalizing everybody. Like if everybody that's wearing wigs is wearing them until the wig falls off the bone. Not everybody is doing that. Not everybody is doing that.
When we're talking about people, we have to talk in majorities. And majority of Black women who wear wigs are wearing them most of the time. They're not just wearing it here and there. because the ones who actually like their hair, they don't even really want to put that on unless it's like one day out of the year if they go to a prom or something like that. But even then, if they like their natural hair, they don't even want to put it on. This is why when you ask a lot of white women, even though I know they wear fake hair, but if you ask them, a lot of them, most of them do not wear wigs. Most of them have never worn a wig until they get up in age and they start like balding or something like that. But Black women wear wigs at the young ages of 5, 6, 7, 8, and it doesn't make any sense.
Okay, that part I do agree with. That I think it's too normalized for young girls to be wearing fake hair. I do agree with that part. But at the end of the day, I feel like people should do what they want with their hair. If the white woman wants to wear braids, let her wear braids. If she wants to wear Afro wig, let her wear Afro wig. And if the Black woman wants to wear a wig, a straight wig that's blonde, let her wear it. I think we should talk about the deeper issue with this. We shouldn't be mad at a Black woman just because she wants to wear her hair in a wig.
But do you know how much money Black women spend on wigs every single year?
How much?
Thousands of dollars on fake hair.
Mm-hmm.
Literally thousands of dollars. So you're talking about a different, deeper issue. No, this is the deeper issue. It starts from the small things like wigs, and it accumulates. And where do you think all your money is going? To pointless things like a wig.
But why does it matter that much? It's just a wig on someone's head. It's just a wig on someone's head. You're not buying it.
But can you, if you want to wear a wig, why can't you wear an Afro wig as a Black woman?
There's lots of Black women that wear Afro wigs. That's another thing. Lots of Black women wear wigs that are like natural, kinky color, like kinky or whatever. They're not just, wearing straight wigs. Lots of Black women wear wigs that look like natural hair. So what's wrong with that? Is there a problem with that also for them to wear wigs that look like natural hair?
No, I would say there is an issue with that because you're still trying to cover up, but I would say that's less of an issue because at least you're still trying to look like, how you naturally look. But most women today are not wearing 4C Afro wigs. They're wearing straight wigs today, most of them.
I would say it's a mix. And this is coming from someone who literally works with people, works doing hair. I would say it's a mix. I don't think it's just like there's not a big majority. I think it's a mix. I really do.
When my mother lost her hair about 15 years ago from a box dye and she had patches of missing hair, she wanted a Afro wig. When she went to the beauty supply, she asked, "Can you show me something that looked like my daughter's hair?" They said, "No, we don't got that." That's what the Asian man said. She said, "Why don't you got hair that look like my daughter's hair? I want an Afro." He said, "People don't want that. The Black women don't want that. They think it's ugly. They come here for straight hair." So yeah, I have seen very, very few people wear an Afro wig. And when they do, it's usually a costume. It's usually like you're going to a 70s or 80s themed party. It's not something that they would wear every day. I think when people see Black women wear it so much, it's an epidemic. They see Black women trying to hide a part of their identity. And in return, that makes a lot of Black women monstrous. It takes their intelligence away.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. You said that the wig takes their intelligence away. How does it do that?
Because you have to look you have to get up, you have to look in the mirror at yourself. You're looking and saying, "I need a wig because my hair that I was born with doesn't look like this. It doesn't look straight. I don't look good with this hair. I look ugly.
Wait, I'm
Therefore,
sorry.
I'm going to enhance my beauty or whatever they think is left of it with something it's not theirs." I felt prejudiced once when I was a kid. I was a small kid. And I threw this rope on top of my head. It was like this long braided rope. I was a kid. I said, "This is my hair now. You can't take it off and you can't shampoo it. It has to stay just like this." That was very unhealthy. I grew up with a very unhealthy mindset towards my hair. I wonder why it didn't hang like the white girls, why they had it so easy. My mother didn't, she said this herself. My mother said, no one taught me how to do my hair. And the influences she had were people around her always straightening their hair or curling their hair, not Afro texture. So when she had me, I wasn't taught, I don't want to curse, I wasn't taught anything. So I thought it was a defect. I looked in the mirror, I saw my 4C hair and said, what's wrong with me? Is there something wrong? How come the brushes don't work in my hair? How come I can't wear my hair like that? I was gorgeous the entire time.
Can I say something?
I had wasted about 15 years of my life looking in the mirror thinking I was ugly. Now that I know how to do my hair and how easy it is, I feel great sadness and regret for the child in me. And I wish somebody would have saved me much younger.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
So I'm sorry that you had to deal with all of that and everything, but that's you. That's you. I feel like, don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like that's kind of like projecting a bit because not every Black woman that puts on a wig is insecure. Where did this idea come from?
Here's the thing. It's not
Where
that
did
they're
this idea come
it's
from?
not
That
they're
if I'm wearing a wig right now, does that make me
It's
insecure?
not
I just put it
it's
on
not
to
that
put it
they're
on.
insecure. It's that they just don't want to deal with themselves. I don't think they're insecure. Most Black women, they put on a weave and they swear that it's shit on 100.
But if a white woman puts on a wig, nobody thinks, oh, she doesn't want to deal with
Because that's
herself.
her natural hair grade. Nobody's gonna know. If I see a woman with a bust down 40-inch, I'm gonna know. There's a difference. Oddly enough, when I see a Black woman and she's got her hair, let's say pressed, like with the pressing comb, even though it's straight, it looks different. It doesn't look the same as a white woman's straight hair.
Okay, so what if a white woman has curly hair and she just put on a straight wig? Then what?
People are not gonna know. That's what they're known for, straight hair. People are not gonna know. We're dark-skinned people. We're people of color. People know that we don't really grow 1A hair. We don't have straight hair. There's exceptions, yes, but that's not the rule. The rule is that we have kinky hair and we should embrace it. We should teach others how to do their hair. I understand people want to wear a wig or a weave because it's tiresome sometimes to understand, but there's a lot of deep roots, there's a lot of shadow work that's being overlooked. And for Black women, it's very important that we address these shadows. There's a lot of trauma associated with that.
Okay. I think still that I want to look at it like in a balanced way because it's a discussion and I'm hearing everything you're saying and I want to look at it in like a balanced way. But at the end of the day, I still stand with my opinion. Everyone should be able to do what they want with their own hair. Nobody is insecure because they put on a wig one day just because they wanted to put on a wig. Nobody's insecure. I'm not doubting the fact. I'm not gonna contest the fact that yes, there are some women, because like I said, I want to keep a balanced perspective. There are some women that do put on a wig. They do because they do not want to see their natural hair, because they don't like to deal with it. There are women that do that. But I also want to say that there's also women who don't. They just put it on to put it on. They just put it on.
You can't just put a
Why
weave.
did they put it on? Why? Why did they do it?
Maybe they just want to change up the style. Maybe they just want to change it up. Maybe they don't want to heat style their hair that day and they just put on a wig. What's wrong with that?
You do not understand that other races do not feel the need to switch it up. Black women have the most.
No.
Wait. Black women, Black people, we can do different things with our hair that other races cannot do because Black hair can be manipulated at a high level.
Which is true.
We can do box braids, twists, afros, dreads, slick backs. We can do so many different hairstyles. Even I saw a girl.
I'm half African for the people in the chat. I'm half African.
I saw a girl on Instagram. She would shape her afro into like hearts, sushi, different anime characters.
Yeah, I've seen her.
There's so much diversity that we can do. But every time you say you want to switch it up, it has to be a straight wig. Why does it always have to be a straight wig when you have to switch it up?
But it's not always a straight wig. Sometimes it's curly wigs, sometimes it's water wave wigs. It's not always a straight wig.
It's always something other than 4C. We're trying to figure out why Black women have this epidemic of wearing something that doesn't reflect them.
Why is it an epidemic?
Because when I walk outside, I don't have a car. I have to walk amongst the general public. I see Black women, and 95% of them are wearing weaves, and it's not even done nicely. And the thing is, I've seen some comments say, well, you could just throw on a wig. If you got Black hair, natural Black hair, you can't just throw on a wig. You got to get it cornrowed down. You got to get it flat. That takes a lot of manipulation. It takes a lot of work. If you just throw a weave over and you got Black hair, it's sitting on top of your head like a hat, and it does not look good.
I've seen people actually put a wig on without having to put on braids. They just put a slick back, like a really tight slick back, and it looks good.
And a tight slick back. Why do we have to hide ourselves so much? We're trying to figure out what is the wound, what is the trauma with a lot of Black women that when they look in the mirror, they say, let me switch it up to bone straight hair.
But this is my thing. It's not always rooted in trauma. It's not always rooted.
It is with Black women, it is. Because white women don't feel the need to wear Afro hair. It's not their hair texture. Some of them might do it because they have a Black boyfriend and they want to connect with the Black culture. But when we do it, we're trying to disconnect from the Black culture. We are, whether you agree with it or not. If it quacks, it's a duck. And it's just so weird. It's too many of them. We're the only race on this planet running around taking hair off of people's heads and slapping it on top of our hair, smothering our hair.
We are not the only race of people that wear wigs. We are not the only race of people.
Well, smothering, yes, we are. White women might wear a clip-in or two. They don't smother their hair.
So would you? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just wanted to ask a question. So would you say that you're fully against wigs, against wigs?
I'm fully against weaves and wigs.
So let's say someone has alopecia, right? And they put on a wig. Would you be against it then?
No, I wouldn't be because they have extenuating circumstances. Most of the people I know who have alopecia have gotten it from either perms or weaves or something with how people used to do cornrows with the added hair, and the added hair would rub up against the scalp and cause a lot of breakage. My mom got some braids once, and she had to take them out her hair because she was having an allergic reaction. And that helped her lose a lot of hair too.
I just don't agree. I feel like everyone should wear what they want to wear. I feel like it's not that deep.
It is deep. And I understand, you know what? I understand where you're coming from. But I want Black women to see that this is very deep because a lot of people are profiting off of us and our I don't want to say insecurities, but the fact that we're hiding our identity. A lot of people take advantage of that. A lot of people would be very much afraid to step to Black people in a particular way if their hair was presented in such. Weave doesn't say, I'm smart and I will stick up for my rights. Weave says, to me, it says, I've got multiple baby daddies. I might be a single mother. I might smoke weed. That's what I see. And that's what's usually the truth. It's not the truth all the time. Because some people wear it because they see others. And it's a generational thing. They don't understand how to do their hair. If Black women were conditioned to do their hair and see it as gorgeous, we wouldn't have this discussion.
You see, I was following you in the first part, but then when you started saying that wearing a weave is like saying that somebody has multiple baby daddies or I smoke, then you lost me.
That's the stereotype.
Because I feel like that's like a stereotype of Black people in general. That's not really like a stereotype for someone who wears wigs and weaves.
My mother was a single mother. She did it too.
Well, what does that have to do with anything? You said that wearing a wig and a weave is like saying, I have multiple baby daddies, I smoke, and blah, 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 like black stereotypes. Anybody can have a black stereotype against them without wearing a wig or a weave.
We need to make it not so easy for people to profile us. I've seen it. My mother had cop boyfriends. I
But
got to
people
hear
can
them
profile you as a black person regardless of whether you're wearing a wig or a weave. People profile you all the time. I wear natural hair all the time. I get profiled for stuff I don't do because I'm black. That doesn't have anything to do with hair. It has
Actually,
nothing
it
to do with
can.
hair.
I used to walk into a lot of beauty supplies, and we're very aware that a lot of Asian people would look at Black people and follow around the stores. Well, when I would walk into the stores, they would give me a curious look. They wouldn't really follow me. Then I also spoke Korean to them, and they were like, "Oh shit." They were like, "Oh, you don't have the extra. It's okay. You can have that. Oh, you take that backpack back there with you. You're fine." And it created this thing where now if another Black person walks into that shop with her hair, natural hair, they'll probably say, "You know what? The last time we saw a Black girl with natural hair like that, she spoke Korean, bought her stuff, and was gone." You know what? We're not going to stigmatize people with natural hair. I think the weave and the wigs were a trap for Black women. I don't want to see my fellow Black women hurt. I don't. I really don't. I don't have that in my heart. But I think a lot of cultures and a lot of other bad people with bad intentions have pushed weave and wigs towards the Black women. And they've used Hollywood to do it.
Mocha, do you understand like where the wigs come from?
No, I understand. I understand. Like I said, I'm trying to keep like a balanced perspective. I understand where you're coming from. I understand the argument.
But where do wigs come from? Like, do you know that?
I believe it started, or I thought it started originally due to like discrimination. Black women were being discriminated against in the workforce. And so the popularization of wigs began.
But I mean, today, the hair that Black women are wearing, you guys are literally wearing the hair that falls in the drain from Asian women and Filipino women. So they bundle up this hair that they brush out of their hair over years, and they sell it to wig makers. And then they comb it through, and then they sell it to you guys. So you guys are literally wearing the trash of other women. And do you think that's okay?
And sometimes it comes off of dead bodies.
Oh.
It does. Sometimes it comes off of dead bodies. Black people do not see Black people enough to give them respect. There's no telling where they get that hair from. We can all agree that Black people do not receive the best treatments. I've been to hospitals where white people have looked at me funny and did not want to give me or my mother the same treatment. So what makes you think they're giving you the best of the best hair? They might spray that shit with chemicals just for funsies because people are sick, and because Black people have not made a stand, people will get away with it. If Black people were to start dropping those wigs and weaves, you would even see Hollywood start to say, "You know what? Yeah, because when I wore it, I kept having a scalp problem, but my manager told me I had to keep going." We need to stop. We're not Hollywood. We are not Cardi B. We go to the hospital. They're
Wait, but
not going
not
to
all
treat us
wigs
like we're
are
a
from like.
celebrity.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
It's okay. I just think Black women need to put down the wigs and the weaves because it's setting us up for some very dangerous stuff in the future.
Like how? Like what dangerous things?
Because that hair, a lot of people don't respect Black people. They don't. We might have some cool people, but on the whole, Black people see Black people on the bottom of the totem pole. What makes you think they're going to give you hair that came off of a healthy Asian woman? They're going to sell that to Hollywood first. The regular Black public, they're probably getting hair off of dead people's body, people who've had probably cancers, people who were deemed probably mentally ill.
Not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true.
Oh, yes, it is,
That
because
comes
most
from
Black
people
people,
not buying ethically sourced hair. Now, when it comes to people not educating themselves on where to buy ethically sourced hair from, then
unless
yeah,
you
that's a problem.
unless you
That is
met
a
that
problem.
person and shaved that person's head yourself, they said, "Can you give me some money?" You shaved it yourself. You don't know if it's ethical. They don't have a camera there to tell you what's ethical. They could be feeding us a bunch of bull crap. They've been like Johnson and Johnson. They knew there was asbestos in that baby powder for a long time. Black women were known for using that powder. They said, you know what? Let them use that powder. We don't mind them dying off. We don't know what they're putting in these weaves because we're not there. We're not physically there. They don't respect a lot of Black people in the medical field. Shit, you see that thing with the Luigi guy? They did him wrong, and he's white. What do you think they're doing to Black people? They're not giving us good quality. Most of these wigs and weaves and stuff, they could be sprayed with a lot of chemical and things that can induce cancers. I hear
can
Black
agree
women
with
say
that. I can agree with that, but
we
there
should
are ethically sourced hair companies
We
that
don't
I'm not
know
just
that.
pulling it out of my. There are actually ethically sourced companies that ethically get hair. Like I'm not.
Guess who's getting that? Cardi B will get that. Beyonce will get that.
They don't just sell it to celebrities. They don't discriminate. If you have the money,
Oh yes, they
if
do.
you
They
have the money, why would they not? Why would they not sell it to you? It's an online business.
Because why would they give you that quality?
Even if you are buying,
why wouldn't they?
Source hair, it's very expensive. It's thousands of dollars. So why would you pay that much money for somebody else's hair?
I mean, it's like you just said. If you don't want to get bad quality hair or hair off a dead person's body, why wouldn't they pay it? And second of all, not every ethically sourced hair company is thousands of dollars. It's not thousands of dollars. Not every no.
If they're taking long hair off an Asian person and they're eating good food and they've got clean long hair, they're not giving that to regular people in the public. They're going to give it to rich people first. Rich people always get the best first because they've got the money. They can cut out the middleman. They can get that. The regular person working at Walmart, they can't even afford regular human hair. The hair that they're getting is chemically treated. It's dirty. It's bad. I don't think Black people should ever touch wig or weave. It should be a stance.
I think Mocha agrees now. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not trying to tear down Black women.
I'm trying to see both sides. I personally feel like if you want to wear your hair natural, wear it. If you want to wear a wig, wear it. Because it's not just Black. I mean, yes, okay. Mostly you see Black women wear weaves or wigs, but it's not just Black women that wear weaves or wigs. There's lots of other races of women that do the same thing.
That's true, but the thing is, we can't tell because they're wearing their hair grades.
So because we can't tell, it doesn't matter.
Oh, no, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because they feel like they can represent themselves. That's their hair texture. They still represent themselves. If Black women walked around with 4C weaves, no one would really know. They would think, oh, that's their hair. But we're using another culture. That's where the energy, everything messes up.
I'm sorry. I have to say this again. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I am half African. I'm half African. Thank you. Sometimes the accent comes out, sometimes it doesn't. I've lived in this country and in Nigeria for a long time. I switch a lot. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead, Trent.
What's your point, though?
No, I was just seeing people that were saying, oh, she's not African or whatever, or she's African. She doesn't understand. I'm half.
Okay. Well, what are your last words, Mocha?
My last words. First, I want to say thank you for letting me come up. I think this is a really healthy discussion for people to have because I do see both sides of the coin. I understand. I feel like personally, I think, like I said before, people should wear the hair that they want to wear, but I think we do need to talk about, the issue in regards to like how Black women do feel insecure. Some Black women do feel insecure in their own hair, and that's why they're wearing wigs and weaves. But I also feel like we shouldn't just say we should ban it all or nothing. I think we should have like a balanced perspective of it, But that's just me.
Okay. I understand that. You have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.
Yeah, personally, I think we should ban all wigs and weaves. Hopefully, we can get Trump to sign something to ban it, because the world will be a better place. But I'll let one more person up here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and end this joint for real.
Hello.
Yes. What is your standpoint?
Hey, I just my name is Nice, by the way. I just think this conversation is very lackluster. I don't think there's a real point in what any of you guys are saying, actually. I think what Carly is saying is very hypocritical as well. And her points that she's making, super hypocritical and can go for anything. So I just, yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
Name the point that she made that's hypocritical.
She said that people aren't going to know if a white woman wears wigs. And if she sees a black woman with a 40-inch bust down, then people are going to know that that's not her hair. Okay. Then she said, if a black woman wears a 4C wigs, no one's questioning if that's her hair or not. But that is not true. If the 4C wig is super long, we can, as she said, a 30-inch bust down, she would probably suggest or claim that that's not her hair and that it is a wig. So what are we like implying? I don't get it.
Well, a wig, a 4C wig is gonna look. She's saying that it's gonna look more natural than that of a straight wig, because a straight wig is clear as day.
So what happens when Black children are born with blue eyes and red hair, blonde hair? Okay, do we say, hold on, do we say that because it's not natural, that it's not real? Or like, I don't understand. What is the
That's
point?
called the exception. That's called the exception. It's not the rule. When somebody wears a 4C wig, they're saying, I don't mind representing my culture, my roots. When my mother lost a lot of her hair, she wanted.
Carly, I get your mom lost her hair, but like, let's try and not make it so personalized and talk.
That's where my experience comes from.
Right, and so and that's important though. That's very important, because if we're gonna have logical discussions, it can't just be your experience. We have to broaden it out.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people who, let's say there was a woman who wore a weave and it was a 4C, she's still representing her culture. She's representing her culture. When I see wigs and weaves that are straight, and you know that's not part of our hair, they're taking from our culture. I think that's cultural appropriation in a way, because you're taking away from our culture. That's not our rule of hair. Our hair is deemed as kinky and coily, and we should embrace it. It's beautiful. It's thick. It can do all kinds of things, but we want to stifle it and put it under some fake plastic, fake weave, and we're
wonderful. So when white women, they're tanning, and this, once again, there's just an exception that there are white women who have darker olive skin, where they're tanning, that's not them, right? We know historically that pale skin was very beautiful, right? Once again, this is not a problem of white or Black women wearing wigs. This is a problem of women perpetuating beauty standards that society has given women. It's not about a select person or select group of people. It's everyone. It's everything.
No, it's very interesting what you said about the white people. Usually if a white person tans and it's too noticeable, people will talk trash about that. They'll say, ooh, what they doing? Why are they tanning so much? They know they're not like that. They're trying to be Black. White people,
right? So that's my point. That's my point, right? Everyone is going to have hold on. Everyone's going to have a problem with everything if it's not what we think is the normal, right? I can say I'm a Christian. I can say I want everyone to be Christian on earth. That still doesn't take away from the fact that there are Muslims, there are agnostics, there are atheists, there are other people that don't agree with me and my lifestyle. So because I think this is the truth and I think it's right, that doesn't mean that like my way is the only way. There are still going to be Muslims. There's still going to be
people. What I'm trying to say is Black people have suffered being hidden so much. We were told that our lips were too big.
I understand you. I understand that. But and I understand what you said as well. Carly, you also said, am I saying your name right, Carly?
Carly.
Okay, you also said you brought something up that Black women have fought to wear their natural hair, and that's very true. But we can also say that women who are trying to be stay-at-home moms, they are going back on RBG and Susan B. Anthony. Like, it's not logical. I get what you're saying, but you cannot, it's just not, it's weird. It's just weird.
I'm saying that when I see so many Black women wear a straight bust down weave, it's taking from our culture and the things that we fought for. We should, because Black people are not at the same level as white people right now. We're still below them as a race because we can't get the same things they have. So we don't need to be wearing anything that looks like their hair. We need to represent the same way that they look at their white skin and straight hair and say it's beautiful. We need to do the same about ourselves. We need to put ourselves on a pedestal. We should worship ourselves like gods. We should look in the mirror at our hair and say, good damn, look at that beautiful nappy ass hair. That's what we need to say. We need to look at what grows out of our hair. That's called body positivity. Look in the mirror, because I bet you're a pretty girl. I bet you got a face card that doesn't decline. And if you wear your natural hair, I bet you can get any guy that you want.
Yeah.
I want to see more Black people worship themselves like gods. That's what white people did. And a lot of people around the world worship white people like gods. Black people need to look at themselves in the mirror. I don't care if they think they look ugly. They need to go in the mirror and say, God damn, look at me.
Right. And I hear you, love, but like, once again, what you think isn't what everyone thinks. You get what I'm saying? I understand, but that's not for you to say, right? That's more so of a subjective thing.
No, I'm saying this because I see a lot of Black people. They hurt themselves because they don't think that they're pretty. A lot of people treat Black people badly and discriminate because they see Black people as ugly, even with weaves, especially with weaves. So we really need to come up with another resistance, another movement. Put those weaves and wigs down. Even if we
so Carly, so listen to what you're just saying, right? People are saying that Black women look ugly even with weaves, right? That they can even go as far to say that, correct?
That's because Black women look at themselves and they say they're ugly. It causes other people to look and say they're ugly.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who you're talking to. Once again, this has to be like a personal thing because I have never heard anyone. And I only wear my natural hair. I've only ever worn my natural hair. My mother has never processed my hair in any kind of way. I have never processed my hair, haven't bleached my hair. You know what I'm saying? I understand the importance of my hair because I like my hair, right? And I think everybody likes their hair, but we have to understand that not everybody can deal with their hair as I can or that you can. And that's due to growing up with people who also didn't know how to do their hair or
you
didn't put their hair on the forefront, right? But what I'm saying is we have to stop making this such a...
What you said just now was very important. You said Black women look at their hair and they don't think they're pretty.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Wait.
I didn't say that. I said they probably have a hard time doing their hair.
Yes,
this is true, and we know that. And that's why we have styles that are protective.
And that's why we need to put these weaves down and start learning how to do our hair. I didn't know how to do my hair.
I understand. I get what you're saying. And it's very important to take care of your hair, even when you have wigs or when you don't have wigs on.
I just think Black women don't need to do wigs and weave.
But once again, what you think, Carly, isn't what everyone thinks.
Yeah, but guess what? Society looks at Black people and they constantly put us down. They constantly give us the wrong things. We are not a threat to anybody because we don't.
That might be you. That's not a me thing. Okay, that might just be you.
When I look
or
at
the people that you know,
I love myself, but I see a lot of Black women. And they put this energy overall. We see a lot of stuff about Black people getting shot, Black people getting discriminated. We don't look in the mirror. And when we say as a collective, let's put this weave down. We look beautiful. We are God. We worship ourselves, our natural beauty. We would be on the same pedestal as white people. We're not like that.
I don't.
People look at Black people with every bad stereotype in the book.
Oh my gosh.
And it's really related to all these weaves.
This is actually insufferable. I'm so sorry, but like we cannot keep on thinking like this.
No, we should think like this.
Do you really think that wigs is what's separating, allowing the societal separation?
Yes.
Of white and no, love. I'm so sorry. That's not true.
It's not just white people, because
do we know about wigs and how they were?
And when we put wigs and weaves on our hair, we're telling everybody in the world we think we're ugly. We don't like our hair. Yeah. You don't see Black women putting on 4C weaves the same rate as a 40-inch bust down. The whole globe, and that's a problem. You could say, well, Charlie, I'm just one person. There's millions of people out there that don't like Black people because of the way we portray ourselves. When you look at some of the original Black Panthers and some of the movements Black people really got into, they wore their natural hair because that natural hair sent off a message. Some people died for our hair, and we're just gonna cover it up. We're gonna
once again like that. We just put more energy and not use that argument, though, Carly. We can't.
Yes, I can, because I see people putting more energy into the weave.
I just don't think it's good. I don't think it's a good argument, because once again, I can say that people have fought for me to work, but let's say I don't want to work. I want to be a housewife. I want to be a stay-at-home mother. Am I disappointing once again, Susan B. Anthony and everybody else? No, we just cannot. We can't think like this. We just can't. I'm sorry.
We have chains on the Black race, and you might not understand this, but there are a lot of stereotypes and chains on the Black race. And every time a Black woman puts on a weave in our collective, we weaken ourselves. We do. Okay. Nobody wants to run around with 4C hair. See,
you might not want to.
Oh no, I always do. I don't put heat or anything. I wanted to actually put my camera on because I have my hair in Bantu knots right now.
Sorry, what'd you say? What's my hair type? Yeah. It's just curly, man. That's all I got for you.
You don't know what like your curl type is? I
don't necessarily need to know it. I would say it's definitely like a 3C, 4A.
Okay.
Might be like a little bit of yeah.
So it's like
I'm 4C. I have the hair that nobody seems to want. I have the hair that could make a lot of difference to little Black girls who look in the mirror and say, why isn't my hair like my mother's? And the mother's wearing a 40-inch bust down. That little girl don't know what a weave is. She think that weave is coming up out of her mama's scalp. That's how much she sees
right,
it.
But that's not anyone else's problem but that mother and that child.
Yeah, but guess what? Because so many people do it, it becomes a problem as a collective. A lot of people disrespect Black people because of this.
Because they're wearing love.
Because when
are you actually are you being serious? I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
You're not wearing 4C hair. I have the hair of so-called oppression, so I can speak differently. I'm sure you have.
I have a best friend with 4C hair. I have many people in my family with 4C hair. Because I don't have 4C hair, I can't say anything about the topic. What are we talking? Huh?
Does she wear fake hair?
Who, my best friend?
Yeah, that has 4C hair.
From time to time she has braids in. Yeah, she's never worn a wig.
Okay, but still she wears fake hair.
Yeah, she's put braids in her hair as well as I have as well. Yeah.
Why do you think
and I'm sure Charlie has, or Charlie knows someone, and I know you probably know people that also wear braids. Braids aren't a bad thing.
Why do you think she put in fake hair?
I don't know, because I'm not her and I will never be her. Okay. But I do know that braids are a protective hairstyle, and it can protect our hair from over manipulation, from everyday day-to-day friction, from heat damage caused by
fake hair does not protect anything.
No, it does not.
So once again, when we put our hair up in protective hairstyles, it protects us from things like heat damage caused by the sun, from over manipulation. Once again, many different things. It definitely has a benefit.
I understand.
Our hair doesn't get damaged from the sun like that. That's why it's so good.
You do not need the fake hair in there. The fake hair actually causes more.
Yeah.
And it causes your hair to actually break off.
It hasn't caused my hair to break off, but
about negative about the fake hair, it's not because we're just against it because ancestors and people like that fought against it. It's because there's actually negatives that are harming Black women today. But people like you with this standpoint, well, everybody can do whatever they want. You're actually hurting more than you're helping. Do you realize?
I don't think I'm hurting anyone as much as you on here with a blonde wig. This is, I'm sorry, I love the wig. And then Carly up here chatting. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'm doing anything too crazy. I think we're all stating our opinions, as well as people who wear wigs are stating their opinions or are promoting their opinions by wearing wigs, or me who is wearing my natural hair. I don't think I'm doing anything out of the ordinary.
No, because people like me and people like Charlie, is it pronounced Carly or Charlie?
Charlie.
Charlie, okay.
Oh, Charlie, my fault.
People like Charlie and me that speak out against wrongdoings, we actually make people think and kind of realize, hey, maybe they are telling the truth, and then maybe they go do their own research and then they become a better person after that. But people like you that just say, everybody do what you want. If you want to smoke, if you want to drink, do whatever you want.
No, I didn't say that, but I said everyone had the free will to do it, right? So, and I gave you that analogy of me being a Christian and everybody else, people being Muslims and agnostic, right? No matter how much I might say this is the truth and this is the way, that doesn't change the fact that they believe that it's not.
Yeah, but there's people on the earth that can change people's way of thinking.
And we can do that. And we can, and there's a beautiful thing about edification.
Hold on. You're not going to do that by saying, do whatever you want. Because then they're going to keep doing whatever they want, even if it's bad or good.
So what is ethically wrong or morally wrong about wearing hair that is not yours?
It detracts from your Blackness. It's saying
okay. All right.
Your Blackness. That's all.
I get you. What, your name's Charlie?
Yes.
Okay. I want to ask Trey. I hear you though. I get you.
What's your question? Say it again.
What is the ethical and moral wrongs that come with wearing hair that's not yours?
Well, number one, I would say I don't care about what is ethically or morally wrong about wearing fake hair. I can look at fake hair and do research on fake hair and let you know that it causes cancers, fibroids, it causes women to be insecure. There's literally, I've done interviews on my YouTube channel where I interview Black women who wear the fake hair, and I ask them why they do this. And they literally tell me because they hate their natural hair. They say they don't think their hair is done unless they have some type of fake hair wig on or something like that. So I know for a fact it's causing negatives for young Black women. So I don't need no ethically or morally wrong reason. I know it's wrong from different standpoints that I've done and research and interviewing people as well.
Okay. And then Charlie, you said it's basically just erasing our Blackness, correct?
Yes, and erasing a lot of the blood that was shed by a lot of our ancestors to wear what we have. I think I want Black people to succeed. In order for Black people to succeed, we have to sacrifice something. The thing we need to sacrifice first are these weaves, because there's a lot of beauty with Black women. There's a beauty, that natural hair that you're born with. It surpasses any weave or wig. I'll say this for a white woman. There's nothing that's going to surpass her own hair than her hair. This goes for everybody who's born.
That's my point. There we go.
Unless you have an illness, wear your own hair. If you feel like you need to wear an extension or something because you have a sickness, wear something that still says, I am me and nobody else.
Right. So I'll leave it with this. I understand that's what you just said. This goes for everybody. That's all I was trying to say, right? White women wear extensions, Black women wear wigs. White people want to tan, Black people want to bleach, right? Skinny people.
White women wear their own hair texture, though.
That's not the point. It's not their hair. No, it's not. It's not the point.
If Black people are going to wear something extra, you need to wear something that says, I am Black, because we've had a lot of erasure in this country when it comes to Black people.
If a Black person wore...
Why do people always complain about the female rappers are light skinned. The ones that they push the most are light skinned. People cry and say, "There's black erasure. How come we don't see more dark skin?" That's the same thing to be said about the hair. We're erasing ourselves every day and we're proud of it. That's a mental illness. Black women need to worship what comes out of their body. They need to make themselves like gods. That's what white people did. And you see how much they got?
I don't know anything about worshiping myself like I'm a god. I don't believe
You
I'm
should.
a
You
god.
see how what
Nope,
you see what white
nope.
people were able to do?
That's not
White people
what a
were able to steal whole countries. White people were able to steal whole countries. They were able to steal
yes.
homes, lands, because they worshiped themselves as God. Jesus, in fact, was originally painted out to be a white man. They literally worship themselves. When you go into their church, you see a white man with long silky hair. They worship themselves as gods. They really do.
Right.
They might
And
say,
I'm happy for them, right? But
but
that's
you
not
see how
me
much
though.
they got? Do you see how much they
I
have?
don't care how much they got.
We
Like
have to because
Charlie,
they
no,
took-
I'm not
they
gonna
took
lie
that
to
from
you.
a lot of
That's
people.
their life. That has nothing to
They
do
took
with
that
me.
from
Like
people who did not worship themselves. They
okay.
took that from people. They stole that from people who did not have enough confidence to worship themselves.
That's cool. That's not in my belief. I'm not a god.
And that's
But
why
anyways,
the black race is so weak, because we do not worship ourselves. You can
I'm
believe
strong.
whatever you want, but when you get in the mirror, you should be like, "Damn, look at me. I am everything." That's what white people
Yeah,
do.
I think
And
I'm
it worked
definitely
out very
beautiful.
well for them. It worked out very well for white people. Asian people, when they go and they look at this, they like their hair.
Yeah.
You see how well they do. Asians do well. Whites do well. Black people are always on the totem pole. If we were talking about racism, we would be boo-hooing our eyes out about how black people get the least of everything.
Right.
That's because we erase ourselves. We stand in the mirror as a collective and erase ourselves.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can't get anything when you erase yourself. You got to stand in there, and people in the chat, please, when you go into the mirror, I don't care if you think you're ugly. Look at yourself in the mirror, regardless of what race you are, but especially my black women. You are a god. You're gorgeous, and you really need to mean it, because that's how you get shit.
You're gorgeous, but you're not a god. I'll let you guys know that. But hey, how are you? Yeah, my
Hey, how are
point
you?
is I'm great, thank you. My point is still going to remain the same. I think everybody wants, or many people want to be something that they're not. And that goes for any race, any type of body type. That's just how it is, right? So the problem isn't necessarily the group of people or who's perpetuating what onto the other. I think it's just society in general and how we are perpetrating what society has placed on us. So instead of us perpetrating that, we should go out and, do something greater than that. And that's all I have to say. God bless you all. Jesus is King. Amen. Thank you.
Okay.
I think when you're up here, you're not arguing to help anybody or to better anybody. I think she was up here just to try to prove herself to be right, and it clearly shows in all the arguments that she was trying to make. But
I saw somebody comment. Somebody said, if a cow has a baby, that baby is a cow. And I'm not religious. I don't believe God or all that stuff. But when somebody said, if you're a child of God, you are a God, I understand that. Who you are is what you put out. So if people think they're a child of God, they're a God. Right. And the thing is, I don't like to sound religious or spiritual, but when white people do it, they look and they praise themselves so much, and they have not everything, but they got a lot. Black people, we erase ourselves. And I think that's why we need to put the weaves and wigs down. We erase ourselves. We're giving that energy. We're giving that money to other people.
So I don't think Black people are erasing themselves by wearing wigs and weaves, although I don't all the way agree with the use of wigs and weaves. I would say they're redefining their identity through another method, because although they wear wigs and weaves, they do it their way. The styles that they wear, baby hairs, they're Black styles that they learn from one another.
Are you Christian?
We're not going to go into religion because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about identity.
I think a lot of people.
And okay, Charlie, please hush. You've been talking ever since you've been up here. Allow me to speak. Thank you.
Go ahead.
So Black people redefine their identities through other methods. Just like when they came to America, we redefined ourselves within an American context. When we're in the workplace, we redefine ourselves in that way. We are the pioneers of culture. So when it comes to wigs and weaves, they wear them their way. So it's not them trying to be white because they don't wear wigs and weaves the way that white people wear their hair. They wear it their own way. Another thing that you guys are doing while you're up here is centering European features. There are Ethiopian, Sudanese people. Number one, white skin and blonde hair is a mutation. You can't culturalize a mutation. A mutation can exist within any ethnic demographic on the face of this earth. So when it comes to wearing straight hair, they're not necessarily wearing straight hair because white people do it. They're wearing Malaysian hair. A common phrase that's mentioned in Black households when it comes to straight hair is, "Oh, I got that Indian in me." Nobody's saying, "Oh, I got that white in me." Nobody's thinking about white people when they straighten their hair. And if you think that Black women are insecure because they straighten their hair, then you would have to say the same thing about white women, like you mentioned earlier, who have naturally curly hair and they straighten their hair.
Okay,
That
but
is just something people do with their hair.
you said that Black women they're trying to reinvent themselves. Why do they need to do this?
Everybody, whenever you enter into a new era of life, that's just like we reinvented ourselves through between the era of 2000 to 2024. Styles evolve over time. So just like you just said, in the 70s, they had afros and they were wearing their natural hair. And that's another thing you said. Oh, they laugh at us because we wear wigs and weaves. They don't like us because we wear wigs and weaves, or whatever the case. They didn't like us when we wore natural hair. The hair textures have nothing to do with why they don't like us. A wig, well, hair texture is a part of the reason, but wearing wigs and weaves is not, that has nothing to do with why they don't like us. Anything that we do culturally, they're going to diminish it and try to, speak against it and weaponize it. Just like when we came out with the movie Black Panther, they weaponized it. Now they use Wakanda and we was kings as a racial slur. When we become liberals and Democrats, they use the idea of being a liberal and a Democrat as a racial slur. It doesn't matter where the Black identity shifts, they're going to use that against Black people. It doesn't matter if it's through a wig or a weave or a shoe or a t-shirt or running, even when it comes to sports and running fast. They'll say, "Oh, you have to run fast because you got to get away from the police," and things like that. They're always going to do that. That's never going to change.
If Black people need to reinvent themselves, or Black women, because it's not Black men. Black men are not trying to reinvent themselves. Why do Black women need the hair
Black
of a
men have
woman
reinvented
to
themselves. What are you
reinvent
talking
herself?
about?
Why do we need Asian and white women's hair to reinvent ourselves?
But that's not Asian and white women. That's not white women's hair, number one.
It is though.
That is just straight hair. That it also exists. First of all,
It's erasure.
white Asians are are the most mutated version of a human being there is. There is nothing that exists amongst white people or white Asians that does not exist amongst highly melanated individuals on the face of this earth. We are the most natural being there is on this earth.
I understand
You
that.
really want to be real about it. You will find most phenotypes that you find amongst whites and Asians amongst highly melanated individuals.
But do you not understand that Brazilian hair is European hair?
No, Brazilian hair is not European hair. There are Tupi people in Brazil who are brown who actually have that shade of hair. You actually need to educate yourself on what a Brazilian is because indigenous Brazilians are not European.
Sir, that's why I can tell you that with confidence because I did the research.
No, you didn't do the research. Okay, so what are the different variations of indigenous Brazilian individuals?
Yeah, I know that. 1 second. Originally, it was Black people in those areas. Then it got colonized.
No, it wasn't
So
originally.
it was though. The indigenous people were black people.
So Tupi, that's one of them. Name the other one.
And then the Europeans colonized that area. Before the Europeans colonized that area, there was no straight-haired black people.
Exactly.
No, there was. They were
No, there
called
was
Tupi
not.
people.
That came from
Tupi people.
settlers.
Tupi. Google it.
Brazil was
They
very
are the
racist
the
against
most
the dark-skinned
they are the
people.
indigenous people of Brazil, and they do have straight hair.
Why are we so obsessed with straight hair? First
Why
of all,
are you so obsessed with people's black identities and how they reinvent
because
themselves?
people were killed for being black. People were
And
discriminated
people are
for
still
being
going to
black.
be killed for being
Some
black,
black
whether they're
people
wearing
weren't
a
getting the
wig,
right
weave,
pain
or a
medication
hat,
because their
or a
skin was
t-shirt.
too
It doesn't
dark.
matter. They're going to be killed. Wigs and weaves are not the reason why black people were killed. And it's very disingenuous for you to push that onto black people like it's
I
their
didn't
fault
say
that
that.
they were
What I'm
killed
trying to
because they
say is
decided to wear a
black
wig and
women
a
should
weave.
not erase
You're
themselves.
being disingenuous.
I'm not being, I'm being very
No,
genuine.
you are being very disingenuous because you're trying to paint it as, oh, black people are the reason why they are killed. Just like earlier, you said that the wigs and the weaves and the way we act is the
What I'm
reason why
saying
they
is
don't
that
like us.
erases
They didn't like
us.
us when we were in Africa minding our own fucking business. What are
We
you
don't
talking
need
about?
to. We don't need to put straight hair in our hair. That's not what comes out of 90%
What
of
is
black.
no straight hair does come out of highly melanated individuals'
Why are
hair.
you
That's
so
what I just
concerned
told
about
you.
10% of the black? Why are
You're
you
talking
trying
about
to
being
ignore 90% of
Afrocentric.
the black people?
You're not talking
You're
about
trying
being
to
black.
ignore.
When it
That's
comes to
what Hollywood
blackness,
does.
there is a
Put in a
there
lot
are
of light
various
skinned women, and then when the
there are
black people
various
start.
identities amongst the black diaspora, and straight hair does exist amongst black
Well,
people.
why are you so
However,
obsessed with
you
straight
allow
hair?
Europeans to
Everybody
code
is
black people
obsessed
into
with straight
no.
hair.
Listen, Charlie, listen. Because I'm not up here, I'm not a pseudo intellectual. I actually know what I'm talking about, and I have base in what I'm
No, you
talking
don't.
about.
Because
You're just
Brazil
talking.
is
You're just
very
spewing
racist
rhetoric.
against their
That's all
indigenous
you're doing.
people. Brazil is
You're
racist
you're
against the
just spewing
indigenous
rhetoric
because their
because you
hair
just
is
said
not straight.
Brazilians are European.
Brazil is
Why
very
would you say
racist against the
Brazilians are
indigenous
European?
because their hair
Because
is
you're
coily
talking
and their
about
skin is
Europeans. They come
originally
from
dark.
Europe. They don't come from Brazil. What
We're
are you
trying to
talking about?
erase the indigenous people in Brazil right now.
Hold on, sir. You just said that Europeans come from Europe and not Brazil.
You just talked about how Europeans colonized Brazil, and that's why Brazilians have straight hair.
Sir,
You're talking about Europeans. I just told you, Tupi. How about you pull up your Google search engine and type in TUPI
My
so you can actually see what an indigenous Brazilian looks like?
Look up the Spanish colonized.
No, look up TUPI because you want to talk about Brazil. Stop trying to move the
They
goalposts.
colonized
Stop trying
the
to move the
whole
goalposts
area.
and just do what I told you to do.
Why are we so obsessed about 10% of the black? But we're not talking about the 10%. We know that there's black people with straight hair. We want to represent the 90% that got kinky, coily hair. We want to boost them up. We want to bring them up. That's what we want to do.
So, sir, do you believe in the Eve gene?
So you said, do I believe in what?
The Eve gene, that all races come from black people.
Why are you asking me, do I believe in it? Like it's a religion.
Is it real? Do you think that that is true?
Why are we, what is your purpose in asking me that?
No, I'm trying to see if you believe that.
What is your purpose in asking me that?
I'm trying to see if you believe that.
Trying to see why.
You just don't want to answer the question?
People don't want to
What
face
is
the
it? Like, is your argument that weak that you now have to move the goalpost to whether or not the Eve gene is real or not? How about we talk about hair, because that's what your prompt is about. Hair.
If the Eve gene is real, then it directly goes into hair, because that means a European's hair comes from black people. Am I right?
So then how was black people trying to be European?
But that's what I'm talking about. You guys are fighting this cultural appropriation argument as well. And if the Eve gene is real, how is it cultural appropriation if white people come from black people?
So then if that's the argument that you want to go with, then your whole argument is now debunked, because if that is the case, then black people can straighten their hair. It's still their hair.
See, this
Like I said when I came up here, white skin, blonde hair is a mutation.
But sir, what we're doing is we're using the unicorn to fight an argument. Why are we doing this? We know that exists, but why are we using the 0.0001% of Black people that have naturally straight blonde hair? And actually, wait, Black people do not have straight blonde hair. They have blonde hair, and some of them have straight hair. But the only person or the only people that has the combination of both is Europeans. So
But my argument is based on you saying that by Black people wearing weaves and wigs that they're trying to look like white people, when that is not the case. If you want to be real, if you want to be genuine about it, it's them trying to look like Beyonce or them trying to look like Mary J. Blige, because that's where it stemmed from. That's Beyonce started wearing blonde wigs, Mary J. Blige started wearing blonde wigs, and sisters was like, oh shit, that is cute. I think I want to start wearing blonde wigs.
And they got that from white Hollywood.
Just like when men started wearing pink, R. Kelly was a man who started to make pink okay for men to wear. Then men was like, damn, that is actually kind of fire. I want to start wearing pink. It's just styles evolving over time.
But it's not a style evolving over time.
It is a style evolving over time.
But okay, why
Wanting
are
to
they
straighten
not
your hair, wanting your to straighten hair did not necessarily stem from people wanting to be white. It actually stemmed from survival. Women were not able to peacefully work in the workplace because their hair was considered unkempt, and they were not able to maintain jobs due to that. And they were only able to get houseworking jobs where they could be maids and they can be nannies. And if they wanted to, get into the economy, they had to straighten their hair. That is where that came from.
You are correct about that. But since you said that, why are we still wearing wigs and weaves today if it's stemming from a negative place of survival?
Because it doesn't stem from that. We're still wearing weaves and wigs today. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you why we still wear weaves and wigs today.
Let me finish though. It did not start because Black women wanted to wear these styles. Just like you said, they were forced to. It was survival. So now we're copying people that were forced to wear a wig and weave. Make that make sense?
No, what we're doing is we're copying our own culture. Whenever we're forced to do things, just like we were forced to live in America when we were slaves, we end up creating a culture surrounding that. And then we concede to the culture that we create. When it's started to, oh, now you have to straighten hair, wear weaves, Black women then started to create a culture surrounded wearing weaves and wigs with the teen-on laws, when you had to wear a cap over your head. The Black women started to create a culture and styles around that. It's just Black women living within the culture that they created for themselves. And that's why they wear styles like one another. They don't look to white women like, oh, what's the next cute style? They look to each other. Oh, baby hairs is cute. We're going to start wearing
erasing themselves. They're just
baby hairs is they're not erasing themselves.
Yes,
They're reinventing themselves.
Why are
Charlie,
people
you have
so
such an adolescent way of viewing this thing right now.
Black women, most of them are mentally ill. Most of
they're
them,
not
sorry,
mentally
they're
ill.
mentally
They're
ill,
not
and they're
mentally
very uneducated.
No, Charlie, you're uneducated, and that's the
Maybe
issue.
I'm very
Because,
educated.
no,
You're talking about Brazilians.
You're not educated.
Did you know
You're very
Brazil is
uneducated.
very racist against the
You're a
indigenous because their hair is too
pseudo-intellectual. That
curly
is
and
what
their
we
skin is
call
too
people
dark? Brazil is extremely racist towards the indigenous because the indigenous are dark with very curly, coily hair. They put the light skin, straight hair Brazilians up because that's what they want Brazil portrayed as.
Look,
but if you ask the natives of Brazil, they say, we suffer, the people with dark skin and curly hair, we suffer here because people don't want to acknowledge the indigenous. That's what Brazil actually does. I'm educated enough to know that.
No, you're not
I'm speaking
educated,
up for
Charlie.
people.
You're just
Hair gray.
you're just skilled at spewing rhetoric in a way that allows.
I'm not spewing rhetoric. I watched documentaries. I saw the dark skinned Brazilian women. They were very sad because they were not accepted. We really should be talking about Black women with type 4, 3, whatever. Black women should embrace their natural hair. That's all we're saying. We shouldn't be putting on wigs and weaves.
No, that's not all you're saying. Because
society, the society that you're talking about.
Because
This is
Charlie,
exactly
if
what you're
all you were
talking
saying
about.
was
Once
black
again,
women
black
need
women
to
like they're
embrace their natural
stupid.
hair, I wouldn't have come up here. If all you were saying was black women need to embrace their natural hair,
They
I would not
do.
be coming. Hush for a second. I would not have been coming up here. But I'm coming up here due to the other things that you have said and the way you try to pin white women and black women as white women being competition to black women when that is not true. And I'm giving you
Yes, it was.
clarity.
The
No,
10
it
y'all,
is not true.
please look up the
Learn,
10
learn,
Young
learn,
Act.
learn. Hush,
There was an
Charlie,
actual
Charlie,
act against
Charlie.
black women because they were seen as competition against white women. It was an actual, look it up, Louisiana.
Maybe
Black
if
women
you
had to
listen,
cover their
shut the fuck
hair.
up for 10
It's
seconds
not
because your
about
voice is
white
insufferable.
women saying that, oh, we're scared. It was a race problem. There's deep cultural
We
hate
get it.
against
You
the
can
natural
fucking
hair.
sing and you can talk about the race problem. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you trying to make
It's
it
not
seem
about
as
me. I
though.
want to see black women survive. I want
Listen,
black women to look in the
listen.
mirror
We
and
get it.
say, I'm
We get it.
beautiful.
You're
I don't
being
need to put
redundant.
anything on my
You're being
hair.
redundant. You're
I
being
want
redundant.
black women
You're
to
being
say that they're
redundant.
gorgeous.
You're being redundant. We know what you're
Talk
saying.
about this. We cannot only talk about the positive and just say, "Hey, black women, wear your natural hair." We have to talk about the negatives, the positives, and everything in it to make people
You have to
understand.
talk about it from a genuine perspective, and you're not.
Actually, you know what?
And the
Most
way
of the
that you're
people,
approaching it, if that's what you really wanted to do, was to encourage black women to wear their natural hair, you're actually
they
going
don't
about
want,
it wrong.
you know what? They don't
Because
want
you're
you
not
because they
doing
know
it. Charlie, shut the fuck up.
you got to
I
curse
heard
because
you.
you
You're
don't
gonna
have a
say the
point.
same shit
You don't
over and
even have
over.
a point.
I'm
You know
cursing
what?
because you're
Guess
saying
what?
the same shit
Most of
over and
y'all,
over again.
most
So
of you
anyway, I'm
guys
just gonna talk over you,
identify as
and we're just gonna
Christian.
talk over
Do
one
you
another, and we're
remember
not
the
gonna have a
story called
conversation
Samson
because
and
I'm actually
Delilah?
a
When Samson's
communication
hair was cut,
person, and
he
I
lost
understand how
all
to
of his
talk. So
strength.
what I was saying was,
When
you
black
were
women
talking
cover their
about
hair, they lose
treating
all their
white
strength.
women as
They
black
lose
women's
their
competition,
intelligence. They
and
lose
they're
their
not their
power.
competition because they
Why
were
would
the
you want to
original.
go
So
and
why
tell
would I be
somebody
trying
to
to be
lose their power?
jealous of a
Black women
prototype?
need
You
to
literally
bring their
call black
power
women
back.
jealous of white
Black
women.
women need to
That is
bring
the
their
reason that
power
I
back.
came up here in the first
I'm
place.
not even a Christian. And I know about Samson and Delilah.
I
That
came up
so
here because
when
you
that
said
man
black
cut
women
his
were
hair, he
jealous of
lost
white
his
women.
strength.
That is my
When you
reason for coming up.
manipulate your hair, you hide it. You cause weakness in the race. You cause mental illness. You cause the plague. You don't
You
see
sound
white
like
women
a
like that.
hysterical grandmother right now.
I am hysterical because I see black women suffering every day.
You
When
need
I
to,
see black women
you're the
walking
one
down
who's
the street,
mentally ill.
I
I think you
know
need
that they're
help.
saying that they're ugly. That is a mental illness.
You're a pseudo intellectual. That's what you
Maybe
are.
I'm an intellect. I just want to see black women live and thrive and wake up in the morning and say, I am
No, you
fine,
don't.
God damn it.
You just want
I'm
to seem right.
beautiful. I don't
That's
need
what
to
you want to seem, but
It's
you're
just-
wrong.
You said
Oh,
multiple
I'm
times.
wrong.
You said
That's
multiple
very
times that
strange.
black
You are
women
wrong.
need to reinvent themselves. How come no other race had to reinvent themselves?
Because no other race was oppressed and stressed and taking out of their land and put into another land and then having their identity constantly policed.
The
Black
Japanese
women
were.
and black people
Japanese
have
and the
had
Asian
their
were.
identities policed themselves to fit into a social norm for the purpose of survival.
You know
Because
what
I
you said
can't
was
get
very
a job in this system if they're displeased with my hair and I can't go to work. And if I can't go to work, I can't feed my families. So hey, I'm just going to concede to this
Guess what? If somebody tries to
idea
discriminate
and
against
straighten my
natural
hair
hair,
so I can
we
get a
should
job,
sue
so I
and
can
make sure
feed
that you
my
never
family.
have to work again. That's what we're trying to do. Black women need to
Marley,
take up their
you're
natural
not
hair.
doing
And guess
shit,
what?
but
If
just
people were to
talking.
discriminate, I hope those black women sue that they don't never have
Fantasize.
to work a day in their life. I think our black queens shouldn't even have to work these jobs. The discrimination that they have to go through. I want black women to get their
The
power
Crown
back.
Bill was
That's all.
signed less
What you said
than
was true.
5 years ago. Like, what are
But
you
my
talking
thing is, they had to reinvent themselves due to a negative
about?
place.
It's funny how all the white
All
people
all
are
the wigs
requesting that I be dropped because you guys are disingenuously in this room and you're not in this room with good intention. That is the reason why you
You
want me
see, this is why black people are at the bottom of the totem pole. They want to erase themselves so much. And
And that is the problem with you say, this is why? No, this is not why.
This goes very
That
deep.
is your problem. This is the
There's
issue
a
of
lot
what
of
you're
mental
saying.
stuff.
This is not why. This
Sir,
is not what.
why are you defending wigs and weaves? Do you wear wigs?
Okay, I'm gonna break this down to you in the most adolescent form that I can. Like I said when I first got up here, I do prefer Black women to embrace their natural hair. However, I am not going to say that Black women wear weaves and wigs to look like white women. I am not going to say that white women are Black women's competition because that is not the reason why. I understand. Now, one thing when you want to combat something and you actually want to make change, it comes with understanding the psychology where it comes from, understanding the history of where it comes from, and being genuine in your knowledge. And you, sir, are not genuine. So their wigs and their weaves are not to look like white women. That's why they mimic each other when it comes to the styles of hair.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question really quickly. So, if we were never colonized, do you think Black women would be wearing straight hair wigs?
Nope. Nope, they would
I don't know what hair wigs. It doesn't matter. What
Sir, they would not be wearing straight hair wigs if we were never colonized. So who else would they be getting it from unless it's YT people?
Yup.
they were wearing wigs prior to today. Have you seen an ancient wig?
Sir, yes, but they wore
Have you
wigs.
seen an ancient wig?
Sir, yes, they were not 30-inch bust downs.
No, they were not.
Wore wigs. They wore wigs because of hierarchical reasons, because kings and queens would wear them to show status.
And that is similar to today. They wear wigs to show status. That's why they wear certain textures of hair. It's the same difference. It's just a different era.
The minute the general
It is
public
to show
does something,
status.
it loses
It
status.
definitely is to show a status.
If everybody were able to get
Everything
a
is
Rolls
to show
Royce,
a
the rich
status.
people would not buy a Rolls Royce. When something becomes so mainstream that the general public can do it, it loses its status. Don't nobody look at weave and say that status. People look at natural hair and they'll say, well, damn, that person must really take care of themselves. They don't look at people with weave and say that. People who look at weave, and I heard Black men say this. They say,
White
you must
people,
not
you're
wash
not going to
yourself.
understand these arguments because you're not a part of the culture and you're in this room and not with good intention. You're in this room trying to find I'm not talking to you. Are you white, Charlie?
No,
Because
I'm
if
not.
you're white, then you probably need to drop down because you've been up here being fake as fuck. I'm talking to the
I'm
white
being
people.
very real.
You're not in this room with good intention. You're in this
Yes, I
room.
am. I am a Black woman.
I am
with
not talking to you, Charlie. Are you white? Are you white?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well then I'm not fucking talking to you.
Who are you talking to though?
I'm talking to the white people in the comments who keep spewing all of this rhetoric down here. You're not in this room with good intention. And I don't necessarily appreciate you being here because you're only here to try to find a loophole into Black culture and try to justify your actions when it comes to appropriating Black culture. Because yes, cultural appropriation is a thing, whether you like it or not, or if you whether want to admit to it or not. And I understand why you will want to drop me and you don't want to talk, wouldn't want me to speak any further because I'm actually one of the first people to come up here and actually have something logical to say. So
Yeah, but I mean,
Baby, you are not logical. I hate to say
pretty much
it.
broke everything
Charlie,
you said
what's
down.
logical about you?
You're not logical. You're not making any sense.
I'm not making sense to a person who can't shut the fuck up and listen.
I'm not going to shut the fuck up.
Maybe
You
it's
know why?
exactly.
Because
That's why
I
I'm
want
never
to
gonna
see
make
Black
sense to
women
you because you
thrive.
don't know how
I
to
want to
shut the
see
fuck up
little
and
Black
listen.
girls look in the mirror and say that
You
their
are very
hair is
disingenuous.
beautiful.
You're bullshit.
I grew up
Like, let's
like
be
this.
fucking for real.
I grew up with weave
You-
and
you're
dookie braids,
bullshit.
whatever people want to call them.
You're
I
bullshit.
know what's
Well,
going on
come back
behind
from
the
a
scenes.
pay
I'm a
$6.
female.
Hold
I
on.
can speak about this
Hold
more than
on. Pay
you.
$6 to get some followers so you can come back and go live and
I
let's
don't
see
want
what
any
fancy.
followers. I work
No,
from home.
no,
I'm
no.
very
It's not because you want the followers. I want to see your face. I want
I
you.
was
I want to
I
see you
was
go live.
I was
I
actually trying to
want to
put
see
my
you go
camera
live.
on. It won't let me.
Okay, that's why I said go pay $6. You'll be able to get followers, and then you'll be able to come back and you'll be able to go live. Or you can go, or you can come back from a real page because I'm sure you have one. Because I know that you haven't been running through TikTok with this fake ass page your whole life. I know you have a real page. So come back with your real page.
This is not about me. This is about
No,
Black
this
people
is about you
reclaiming
because you
their.
want to speak about Black women. I want to see that
Yes, I
you
want to
are
speak
following
about.
suit
I want to speak about Black women
in
because
your
I
real
hate
life.
to see them hurt themselves. I hate to see them put
I want to
themselves at a
see that you
disadvantage.
are.
I don't
Look,
care who's saying that you're
look.
concerned about Black women
You
putting
repeated that.
themselves in
You repeated that
disadvantage.
a million times, Charlie. I can probably repeat it in verbatim. I've heard it a million times from you. You're not saying anything different. I would like for you to say something new moving forward.
I'm not actually. When you said Black women are trying to be like white women, I disagree with
No,
you.
I did
They're
not
not
say
trying to
Black
be like
women are
white. They're
trying to
trying
be
to
like white.
erase. They're
No,
trying to
you
erase
literally
themselves.
said earlier in this
I
conversation
don't
that
think
Black
Black women are
women.
being
You
insecure.
said
I think
Black
Black
women
women
are
just want to
jealous
erase
of white
themselves
women.
because they don't want
That's
to
what
be
you
Black.
said.
They want to
You
be
said
anything.
you said Black women are jealous of white women. You tried
Yes,
to make it
sometimes they
seem as
are.
though
Sometimes they
white
are.
women are Black women's
I've
competition.
heard a lot of Black women say it's not fair. How come their hair is straight and manageable? How come they don't have to do it? Are we cursed? I've heard a lot of Black people say that.
You
How
watch
come
too
our
many
hair is
movies.
kinky and nappy? Are we cursed? No, we are not. I want to see Black women take their power back. I don't want to see them harmed. I don't
Then
want
why
to
are
see
you
them
going about it in
discriminated.
such a disingenuous manner if that was your intent?
Because sometimes people need to hear the
So
truth
you're
in a
being
very harsh
disingenuous
way.
because
People need to hear the truth in a very harsh way. Because when
do you
society
understand
gets to them,
psychology?
when society gets to them, society will actually harm them. You
No,
might
you're
not like what
harming
I'm
them.
saying, but
You're the
society
one
will
harming
put
them.
their hands on them. Society will hurt them, actually
You're the
hurt
one
them.
harming them. You're the one hurting them because
I'm not hurting
do
anybody.
you know how
I'm trying to tell
psychologically
Black
do you
women,
know how
when you wake up
psychologically
in the
damaging it
morning
is
and
when
you
you're
look
not
in the
understood
mirror,
at
you
home?
need to say that you're gorgeous.
Do you know and do you
Black
understand
women
how
are
psychologically
absolutely
damaging it is when
gorgeous.
you're not understood at home?
Black women are
Do you
gorgeous.
understand how
Nappy hair is
psychologically damaging it
gorgeous.
is when you're not
Kinky hair
understood
is
at home?
gorgeous. Black people are gorgeous. They are beautiful. Like chef's kiss. That's what I'm saying.
At
We
this
don't
point,
need to put anything on our
can you drop Charlie and I'll rather have this conversation with somebody else.
Wait, what do you mean by not understood psychologically at home? What do you mean by that?
When you have somebody when say you go outside or say at school, right? Everybody's attacking you about something, right? You feel a certain way about that thing, then you go home. And then you're trying to tell your parents or your siblings, hey, being challenged with this, challenged with X, Y, and Z. They know how you were brought up. They understand why you behave the way you behave or you move the way you move, and they still choose to ignore all of those things and attack you the same way those people at your school attack you. That can lead to a person's depression. So what I'm saying is, Charlie, if you genuinely wanted Black women or Black girls to feel beautiful the way that you say that you do, then what you would be doing is showing some understanding in why they do what they do.
Oh no, I
Why they wear
understand.
their
No,
hair the way.
see, I
But
do understand.
That she
I
understands
do.
because she came from that place. She was them at one point. So she's the one that would understand.
But
Just
she
like
said no, she wasn't them at one point because she's literally came up here and she
no,
said that she
you
wore
weren't
natural hair
here.
her
You
entire life.
weren't here
no, she
earlier.
didn't say that.
I
I
was
grew
here
up
earlier.
with
I was here
weed.
when you first came up here, when you
That
were
was
here
the
by
other girl.
yourself. When
The
you were
other
here
girl.
by yourself, hold on. She first came up here by herself. And then you added someone else, and then it was two people, and you haven't dropped her since. I've actually been in this room the entire time.
Yeah, but
And she
but
came
the
up here and
other
she
girl,
said,
other girls said that.
hey, I want to cam up because I have band 2 4C knots, I have 4C hair. And then she couldn't cam up.
That's sir, that is true. But the other girl said that she wore natural hair her whole life. Charlie said she used to wear wigs and weaves and things like that, and then she switched over to natural hair. So I think
So
you
I know.
mixed up.
I know what it's like because I suffered. I didn't know how to do my hair. My mother didn't know how to do her hair, so she didn't teach me. I always looked in the mirror and I said, "Why doesn't my hair hang like the girl?" I saw black girls.
Okay, hold on. Can
I
you just
didn't
hush
know.
real quick so I can, because apparently the chat is lost. I am not combating her trying to promote self-awareness or self-love amongst black women. What I am up here combating is the ideology that white women are black women's competition, which is what she said when she was up here. When she said that black women are jealous of white women. That is what I'm combating. I am not combating her. I grew up around women wearing their natural hair. I had a sister who did hair. We actually built a salon in our home, and all she did was natural hair. She was a natural hairstylist. So no, I am not combating that. I think you guys are lost at what I'm fighting right now. I'm combating them trying to perpetuate this idea that black women are trying to erase themselves. That is not true. Black women just redefine themselves.
But
When I say,
even if they're not trying to do that, they're subconsciously doing that by default. By putting on the
but
wig.
you're saying they're trying to do it, maybe you should choose your words wisely, is what I'm saying. You should be more intentional in the things that you're saying because right now you're pushing in a false idea. That's why you have black women coming up here combating what you're saying. If you were to say, hey, they need to embrace their natural hair, why do we continue to do this? What can we, do to combat this thing? That's one thing. But you're trying to say that they're trying to erase themselves. So maybe you should remove trying from your statement.
Well, originally I didn't say that they're trying to do that. I think Charlie did say that, but either way, it's true. Some of them are trying to do so. Some of them actually do not like themselves. That's why they put on skin lightening creams and they sharpen their nose and put on blonde wigs because there's a self-hate under there. But a lot of black women subconsciously are doing these things and they don't even know. And they just think it's outside culture, but they really are destroying themselves. And the whole time, like I always say positive things about natural hair, but they only get upset when I speak bad about what is true. And we have to speak about everything, not just one side.
Yes.
Yeah, they probably get mad about it because how you say it and how you deliver it and the choice of words that you use. Maybe you should use better choice of words. If you really genuinely want to be somebody in the community who makes real change, as opposed to being a gimmick and coming up here with a blonde wig and a choker on. I mean, because I could say that you probably want to be a female because that's something that females do. Um, Instead of doing that, you can be genuine and have a real mature conversation. But right now, you're trying to be a gimmick so you can so you can rage bait, so you can get these people to come in your room, get white people to come in your room and side with you and give you content. I mean,
we all know.
I don't care if you want to come at my sexuality or whatever you want to do.
Sir, I mean, we all know because earlier.
No, but I mean,
earlier,
you are. But I mean, I could say you're wearing a choker, a wig,
sir,
and
this is a necklace. This is
a training bra.
It's not a choker. It's a necklace.
Yeah, no, that's not a choker.
It looks like a choker.
Well, maybe that's
wearing shells. Most gay boys wear shells.
Earlier, you speak about people being bullied and not listening to you. I think you were talking about yourself. Am I right?
You said I'm talking about myself as far as what?
Yeah, earlier you were speaking about how somebody not listening to you at home, and you going to school and people saying things about you, and your parents. Actually,
no, I was speaking from a space of understanding psychology. I'm a dual thinker.
Are you sure you weren't talking about yourself?
These little reverse psychology antics don't necessarily.
When I was a kid,
if you really want to try that, you're probably going to have to wake up very early tomorrow, read and read and read and read until you can't read anymore, and then you can come back to this conversation and try to do that. But
I know it's true.
Those type of tactics don't necessarily.
I wouldn't say it unless I know it's
I've
true.
I've always been a confident person. I've always been an open book. I've always been straightforward in who I am. So Nobody's ever, tried me. I've never been insecure, never felt bullied or anything like that. So maybe you could try that with somebody else, but that's not going to work.
I just honestly do not believe that. I think you were speaking about yourself. But
No, I'm just speaking from an educated standpoint of understanding psychology and how people can be affected by certain things. And not being understood is one thing that a person can, commonly, that's common knowledge actually. That's why I brought it up in this room because it's common knowledge. Even a person that wasn't in those shoes can actually understand what it's like to be in those shoes.
So
when I was a little girl and I grew up, I didn't want to look like a white girl. I just thought something was wrong with me because my hair didn't hang straight. I wasn't taught how to do my own hair. And now that I'm 32 years old and I see my natural hair, I could have done this when I was a kid. And sometimes it makes me want to cry because I did perms, I did braids.
Yeah, that's
And I did it because I thought something was wrong with me. I didn't do it because I wanted to be white. I did something because I thought something was wrong with me. I thought I was ugly. I thought my hair grew in wrong. It was a self-hatred. And now that I know that I'm beautiful and that my twist outs look good with a little puff here and there, big, big, beautiful hair. You can't put your fingers through it and that's fine because it's so gorgeous. I see Black women with these weaves and they have valid face cards. These are beautiful women, but the hair just doesn't match them. It's not bringing out the full potential of a Black woman. I'm advocating for Black women to bring out their natural potential just like every other race does. We don't need to put ourselves down. We need to embrace ourselves. That's all. That's all.
Clay, I apologize if I spoke to something in you that you weren't necessarily ready to present yet, and it kind of triggered you, so you didn't necessarily have to attack me because of that. But I will say I probably shouldn't have done that. I do apologize.
Sir, I see what you're trying to do here. I was not triggered at all, but you spoke about me trying to act like a female, and this is a necklace.
No, what I said was a person could say that, insinuate what you're trying to be, just like you try to insinuate what Black women were trying to be.
Right, but I saw the underlying, what you were really trying
Although, no, that was literally the space that I was coming from when I said that. I was trying to compare the two, compare the.
I mean, what I said, I wasn't trying to attack you. I was telling the truth
You was telling the truth about what?
about somebody not listening to you when something happened to you as a child.
Yeah, but you were trying to insinuate something. I'm not dumb. I know what you were trying to do.
But sir, because I know that something happened. That's why I say I'm not coming from a
What you know that something happened with me?
Yeah.
And what exactly is that? I would love to hear it because I wasn't there.
Yeah, you know. So I mean, we'll just leave it at you know.
Well, I would love to. No. Clarify it. Let's. This is an open room. I would love to have this conversation in front of everyone.
Wait, do you wear wigs?
Maybe it could be eye opening and life changing for me. I might need it.
Do you wear wigs?
Never.
Okay. Do you date men or
I'm bald headed.
do you date women or men or both?
Both. Well, actually, I don't date, if I'm being honest, but I'm not opposed.
Okay, so my thing is with you dealing with the same gender. Did that start because of a place of trauma or because you just wanted to do that?
It started because a peer of mine explored that with me, and I explored that with them, and here I am. But it wasn't a place of trauma. No, it was just a realization. It was an experience that had occurred.
So it was consensual, like it wasn't anything against your will.
Yeah, it was consensual.
Okay.
Wow, but are you projecting?
No, I'm not projecting actually. I'm just saying that
Are you trying to find yourself within me?
Sir, I don't date men. Okay.
You
All
don't?
the women I deal with know that for a fact. Okay. But it's clear because I could tell by your voice, even with me with a wig on, nobody in the chat was calling.
Why
I'm
are
part of the
you?
black community.
To tell by my voice. So you listen to voices in that way.
I can. It's the whole chat knows. Even my chat on YouTube over here, they were saying it too. They knew
Yeah,
too.
I
The
did
chat,
too.
the chat on your YouTube. I mean, there are people who sound like me that aren't. So I mean, if that's what you're doing is determining somebody's sexuality based on their voice, it's kind of odd to me. But okay.
I swear we all know because, especially as a man, I know that for a fact. But
I mean, you sound kind of gay to me too. And I know a lot of gay guys that sound like you.
sure, I don't roll that way. And if anybody want to roll up on me in real life, they can find out.
And that's usually how DO dudes react.
Sir, you can project, but I think
No, I'm not
something
projecting
happens to
because I
you,
literally just told you who I am. So what am I projecting?
sir. I don't believe you though.
I don't believe you either. So you don't believe that I am bisexual. You don't
No,
believe
I
that?
don't.
You know, I told you.
No, I
Now
don't
you
believe
don't.
that it was consensual. I
Damn,
think
you can't
somebody
answer.
did something to you at a young age because human beings are not born that way unless something happens.
No, I never said that I was born that way. I said I had an experience and it led to me becoming this way.
Right, but I don't think it was consensual.
But why don't you think it was consensual? And that's where I say, are you projecting?
No, I don't project, but because most data actually
You have to
shows
be.
that
You have to
it
be.
comes from a place of trauma. That's not natural.
So what is your point? Your place? I told you it's a play. It stemmed from an experience. Life experiences are what contribute to a person's sexuality. That's why people's sexuality and attraction evolves over time. Like while you were younger, like when I was younger, I used to be attracted to people with pimple faces. Now that I'm older, that shit kind of disgusts me. I'm not attracted to the same things that I was attracted to when I was, 20 and 19 and 18. I have a whole new level of attraction these days, and it's evolved over time because of my life experiences.
I'm
So
just the way
much like
human beings are designed, we are
so
designed to like the opposite sex. We're not designed to like the same sex unless something
okay.
happens
So what
that
I'm
is
telling you
traumatic.
is because of a life experience is how I got here. It wasn't because of anything that you're trying to insinuate right now.
Well, yeah, I feel like we're gonna be here all night. You saying what you say, I don't believe that because
Okay. Well,
you can believe that.
to land this plane, what I came up here for was just to say that black women are not jealous of white women. They don't think of white women when they, stand in front of a mirror and do their hair, do their makeup. I think that is the last thing on their mind. Now there are obsessions. I mean exceptions. My bad. The Barbie chick, I forget what her name was. Um, Miss Barbie or whatever, the little girl who thinks she's a white girl, always with a white guy. Yeah, but in general, black women are not jealous of white women.
All right, I appreciate you coming up. Yeah. Do I believe what he was saying? Not for a minute. I definitely do appreciate you, Charlie, for being up here because most women are not okay with going against other women. Most women just have this standpoint, everybody can do what they want to do. Even though deep down they might not like Wigs or Reeves, they'll come on the internet and be like, everybody can do what they want to do. So for you to go against the grain, it definitely shows a lot of courage. So I definitely appreciate you for that.
No problem. I want to see more Black women get away from the wigs and weaves. It's become an obsession with them, and that's unhealthy.
100%. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live because it's 1:06 and I gotta get up early. So I might go live tomorrow. I'm not sure if I feel like it. We'll see. But